The story about the magician player. The player with different accolades. I'm a maestro. I'm a wizard. I'm polo to polo. I'm wonder boy. I'm player extraordinaire. I'm scientist footballer. Different accolades. And you are in the country. I became a coach from showing to the whole Ghana public that this man, after football, he will become a coach because I became a coach player.
I quite Sunday, my fair clock. Where Danike? My fair clock a galley, Nipaposto, or Yafuni Teneke Boboli, Yafonoko Funica, Bobon Waji.
No Nuaka care, Nagbe, Shemofio by Miniba.
Oh, Messi, I can hear Yake into machine Bami, or local fee. Oh, local back, my name into machine. My often a bone and tower lager or Yoko.
Oh, fine. And I was on a ship of Lengelengeko. A year won't know me, will expect you fine. Ninja 7 is J. No go by here fine. She may go make a poison. Only tree but for few shinami.
Coaching is putting your thinking into action. That is what coaching is about. Now, I studied them, I showed them, I revisited the match they played against us. Then I saw that we gave them enough space to operate because they are full of techniques. The boys, the 14, 20, 10, 8, 12. Very with the ball when you give them space. So we try something called tracking and getting free. Track them, get free and play. So we deny them the space for them to maneuver.
In terms of power play, it's zilch. If you watch our game against Mali, the young man was running away from taking the ball. He didn't want it. Give me away. He was practically running away. When we were being marooned and we were under attack from the Malians, and he had the opportunity of staking a claim in the team. Anytime an attempt was made to him with a ball, with a pass, he's running away, leaving the ball, hiding behind the opponent. This whole telemundo is like it's something that sometimes
for the uninitiated, Telemundo is a channel that shows telenovelas.
Yes.
So this is like a soap opera.
It's like a soap opera. This clearly is a soap opera. It's winding down. So let's call Extremadura man from Extremadura man. Bola. When the boy is coming to the player, he's running away. You know what's the game? And shockingly, there's a certain miraculous acrobatism.
Na message said, "Masin san players akuku da mama mutim na gina masa. Players be na masin san. Team na no ayehye. Team wo de bubo players na mama. Sakim CH. Where? Sakim CH. Aha. Team over na. What's that? Team over na. Aha. Cavers. Why? Cavers. Cavers mu ya ya san omo. Eze sister sikupulator mu nya bi mo. Sister sikupulator onya bi mo. Ayi omo say ayi Brazil anyway. Ya sign no. Brazil ni bay. Omo fẹ́ no wa say silver so wa. Tiago silver. Aha. Tiago silver. You say
me the Felix you would get stand. My stand be say me Adamu. I no go need my job. Go marry. No, you see, I don't need my job. Go marry.
So you refuse to they punish him.
They know the punishment. It serves you right. No, not the punishment. See, you choose. You choose love over job. That is exactly what you do. Because see what Richard go do. Football no day. Richard go marry. Yeah. So in the footballer, see, from August 2019 to December 29, we don't play football. You don't marry. We start league after we fall. You say they go marry.
That be the time where money catch.
No. So you choose love over career. And so if today you get your lover, the coach say they give you more time to go chop love. So it's not a big deal. Me, I guess that I thought that this matter they are getting.
Does Don Bote still want to play football? You are 36 years old.
Forget about the age.
We cannot forget about the age, though. You are 36.
Yeah, 36. You doubt 36. Inner me, forget about the age. What you want me to come and do for you?
You still think you can perform at the highest level?
Why?
In Ghana?
Yeah. Not in Ghana, sir.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
You train?
Serious.
By yourself?
Always.
Why don't you want to join a club and train?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Them themselves, they don't believe themselves. The coaches don't believe themselves. They are not real coaches. They don't. You have to believe yourself that no, this guy can do it for me. If you believe me, I can do it. But so far as you just relax yourself, no. If I come safe, I won't get that spirit because you don't believe me.
So you think that if a Premier League team were to give you an opportunity to play, you would make an impact?
Ghana, yeah.
Yes.
I can play past all the current players. The current players in Ghana Premier League.
That's a serious statement coming from somebody who hasn't played in almost a year.
You know something? I know myself. That's why I said, if you don't know me, you don't know me.
You see, as for a game, like when you get a chance, every blessed player will decide to score, and then to decide to catch the ball. So when you both decide together, then you miss the chance. I decide differently, and he also decided differently, and our decision was together. That's why he was able to catch the ball. So I think next time I'll raise my head and watch the goal post and put the ball.
You have 3 or 4 phones. What messages have you been receiving?
I haven't read them because they keep on coming. They keep on coming. I think that I have to turn one of the phone off.
You haven't read any of them? Messages?
No, not at all. Look, they still calling. They still calling. Phones are calling.
And we love it even more when it's a combo of Sports Panorama and Transfer Deadline Day. It gets no better than this. Benjamin Nketsia here. Show proudly brought to us by the one and only Bell Puka. Recharging the African way in the studio. I have my Puka. The rest of the guys are chilling their Puka. We are here till 10 p.m. Buckle your belts. Strap in. It's a long ride. This week has been interesting. The FA headed back to court or were supposed to head back to court to have their injunction case with Kim Faisal heard, but it's been adjourned, I believe, to the 7th to the 6th, yes, of September. So we'll be hearing that case very soon. We'll give you updates on that. Meanwhile, Ghana's Women's Premier League champions, Ampem Dakwa ladies, they have qualified for this year's CAF Women's Champions League. They beat Nigeria's Delta Queens 1-0 in the final of the WAFU B qualifiers in Benin City. Remember, they fell short last campaign. This year, they were determined, and they are going to Africa. As far as the local scene is concerned, Samuel Inkum has said bye-bye to Accra Hearts of Oak. And as far as Hearts of Oak themselves are concerned, Charlie, it is a purification thing. Oh, mamma mia. Purification. Oh. You know, in the Catholic Church, we do something. Father would dip his thing into the water, you know, and sprinkle it, or you do the sign of the cross. Hearts of Oak, you know, they are cutting across all major denominations and religious sects. So they are doing the Muslim version, they are doing the Christian version, and then of course, you know what it is. The kinetics in the other realms. Accra Hearts of Oak. Come on, man. But two big transfers have happened as far as Ghanaians are concerned. Ernest Nuama to Olympic Lyonnais. Big shout outs to Kwesi Siao, founder of the HC Talent Group. And then, of course, Mohamed Kudus to West Ham United. Mohamed Kudus is on the bench for West Ham United in their game against Luton Town. If you're an investor, you know what's good for you. Anytime Kudus go, you know already. The guys are in the studio. Nathan Kwao is here. Evans, Ofotsu, Manso. These days I hear he's added more names, you know, to Santiago Pichi and it says Emanina Pichi. Oh, they say that's the new name now. Hey, Charlie. Oh, Charlie. The girls Ghana Fair Pichi. Lover boy Pichi. Picasso Pichi. Emmanuel Kwedu. Picasso Pichi. And Romanian girl come have Pichi King Kanwi. Oh, Charlie. Yeah, Adjei-Mintah is there. No, Charlie Rabbi. Charlie, today Rabbi made me happy, you know. Yeah. Charlie, you know he's been depressed all transfer window.
Rabbi called me last night. I came back, I put my phone down, came back to meet 2 calls from Rabbi. I said 2 calls. So I called Rabbi. Rabbi was almost in tears.
Charlie, he had big plans for this window.
Charlie. Oh my God, no. He can't no more go. I said no more go.
No, he had big plans. He had big plans for this window, you know. He had Osimhen plans for the window. No.
He get a Tom, Charlie. When Jalaba, he still hasn't been able to wear the Jalaba.
When Fabrizio said, I'm about to United, here we go. No. Charlie, I see some comments. Nah.
I've waited for this for a long time.
Epic. Rabbi, you must commit such a holy moment.
Oh, no more.
Ten Hag will finally pair Casemiro and Amrabat. Your dream midfield partnership.
Charlie.
Numo, commit us into his presence.
Yo, what ba?
Mene oke bepi efita ihawo. Oke mene soa ni masoa na masoa. Oke ogbele ya cho manche yeli aba.
Amen.
Mene oke panorama ba jesh. Oke donko mi nyeno boke nyana no.
Donko mi.
Oke joma we. Beli mo da ke Ghana ma mu fe claro. Pe. Oke control eba. Orchestra denche ba sheshin. Africa mamu fe midfield anana ko ekudan le neba.
Oh, Charlie.
Osmo na the World Cup jele mi fe yo that say. Okay, one double akeme no jowo. Midfield petekple denche neba. Petekple. Eseke hi emoko be. Wa nyo che me no ba nyo che. Okay, Yesu gba mi Amrabat. Eseke hi ke Frank mokobe. Yes. But the play den chele ba shechi. Controller den chene. Controller.
Yes. Killer combination.
Oh, ba wo. That way no Jemfen ba wo. Na me rice pate. I'm a fan ni pe Adjei mo fe na te World Cup ngana. Ana me Amrabat ana. Wo ka me king can we. Amrabat. Me no ka bon ya king can we. O jo mo king can we jo. E ba je king can we da ne. Yo wa she down bo eh. She down bo. Ah o mi e she eh yo wa. In front chog when ke yo wa. Hele mo bi no hele mi sister na nabon. When e tin na den che e sen we ke padi ne wo mo da ne lo nke che yo padi ele ba sheshie. Mi sister na nabon padi e ba sheshie. Padi e ba sheshie. Ni nye gbono ni ba nye mi ko ni etu ni ye Iran clinic ya da braka no a chole bra sule. E ke coach me no call share Solomon Amrabat jomo e kwa san he. So le ke ye so gba mi anuma job.
Amen.
So le ke ye so gba mi anuma job.
Sule.
Yeah, yes gba.
Receive your blessings. Sule.
Iran clinic dey otu oni ye. Okay, ye yes gba mi anuma job. Jomo ni obi oga Amrabat. Me free that petekle. Me free that controller. Me feel that orchestra. Me feel that no feel no Jemfen. Okay, so na kan jomo ko obi o ha.
Plus ball playing goalkeeper.
Playing goalkeeper.
Onana. Deadly combo.
But the player don't chaba bile.
Amrabat Onana.
Ke ha mi. Fambia fen ka bu ame. Ame bullet.
Africa connection.
Okay, jomo wo me kwa jowo. Ye Yesu gba mi.
Amen. Hey! Sufyan Amrabat. Alhamdulillah.
No more.
Alhamdulillah. You out there at home, you can text into the show. You can also get to me on Twitter. But first of all, take the text and WhatsApp line. 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. You can also get to me on Twitter. Get to me at Benjamin Nketsia. Use the hashtag Sports Panorama, or you can use the hashtag Don't Call Me. Let me talk a little women's football real quick to begin the action, and then we will get into the PFA awards. Yes, we'll get into that talk. Nathan, let me start off with you. I'm sure you've been following Ampem Dakwan ladies for a minute. They fell short last campaign when they tried to make it to Africa. They were trying to emulate Hazaka's ladies. This time around, again, against Nigerian opponents in the team Delta Queens, they managed to get that lone important goal that has taken them back into that competition. Big deal for them.
It is a big deal. They were really hoping that they would get it right at the second time of asking. And they did. That was, for all of us, that was what we wanted to see for them. They had managed to win the league. They did the double. They went back to the WAFU B qualifiers. And I'm happy that they've made it. It's a brilliant time for them. And you can tell that they are a better team than they were last year. Mm-hmm. They added quality. They are experienced. And now they learned the lesson of how to play a final, manage a final, and get themselves into the CAF Women's Champions League. It's an absolutely fantastic time to be part of that project, and it will be great to see them competing with the rest of the continent. I think that getting there is important. When they get there, another journey starts. But to make it there, to correct the wrongs of last year and to go one better and book a ticket is absolutely fascinating, seeing them get there. And I think they are qualifying to the CAF Women's Champions League. Should just remind the people who run our football that if we give women's teams support and we back them and we grow the women's game, we can do big things. I think the FIFA Women's World Cup that just ended reminded the world that, look, if you put money in women's football, you won't regret it, because the levels of quality are going up and up and up and up. And if you look at Ghana, we need to get back there. And it starts from teams like Ampem Dakwan, Hazakes, and a lot of these other teams getting to mix it up with the better teams or big teams on the continent. The more they do that, the better they become. Then you can have players who play for the Black Queens, who have a level of experience, and it goes on and on and on until they get to the biggest level. So I'm delighted for them. Special shouts to the biggest Ampem Dakwan fan I know, Felix Romac. He actually is, I think their brand manager. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to the girls. They've done very well. Shout outs to the team's management and coach as well, Jonah Adakwa. So it's just wonderful. I just hope that now that they've secured the ticket, they'll prep very well because the CAF Women's Champions League is at a different level. You are coming up against Farah, Bat, Mamelodi, Sundowns, and these teams have the money, the quality, the skill, the talent, but it's just nice to mix it up with them, and I'm absolutely delighted for them.
Lovely stuff going on there. So for those of you who are just joining us, like I said, today we have a double header. So we are doing part sports panorama and part transfer deadline. They will have a full house, really. Susu Graham has just popped in. So he will be joining us for the deadline day show in a bit. Rita Mensah and Edwin will also join us at certain portions of the show. And so, yes, we do have a full house here, really. Do send in your thoughts via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram, 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. In the meantime, you can tell me which player you want your club to bring in before the window shuts. Remember, the Premier League window shuts at midnight, I believe. And then teams will have after 2 hours, if they've already triggered a deal sheet for a player, to be able to wrap up that transfer. So that's how it works. Pichichi, let me talk to you about Ampem Dakwa ladies. You like your women's football. You have tactics in your books and things. Quick one. Second team to go to Africa. First, Hazakes ladies did it. Ampem Dakwa attempted it last year against Bayelsa Queens. They crashed out. They've gone up against another Nigerian team. Now they've managed to succeed.
Absolutely. And before the tournament started, I was one of the people who was quite confident in the abilities of Ampem Dakwa ladies. They were playing against opponents who didn't have much experience when it comes to the WAFU qualifiers. For Let's Go, the Abidjan, which finished third, this was their debut in the competition, as well as Nigerian opponents, Delta Queens, that lost to Ampem Dakwa in the final. Also their debut in the tournament. So for Ampem Dakwa ladies, they had done quite one better than all these countries or these teams, because they had been there last time around, and so they know the sort of temperament, what you need. And I'm sure the last time defeat in the final was also quite, a learning point for them, because now they have gathered something. They've gathered the pain, and I tell people that sometimes pain is good, because when you go through such pain, it makes you better. You learn from all the hurts and the sort of. I'm sure you don't want to go through a double pain back to back, and so they learned from what they experienced the last time around, and facing such a team in Delta Queens, who also played in their debut final, I'm sure they had something extra, which is the experience. And you get experience from playing in these competitions over and over and over. And I'm sure that Coach Adakwa told his ladies that you were here last time around, you saw what happened, you saw the pain you guys felt. Turn this pain now into happiness and make sure you guys progress. And I'm also sure that the sort of support they had was quite huge for them. Unlike the last time around, where they had to go around some establishment to get money to prepare and all that. Time around, I think they had a huge financial boost from the FA. So preparations-wise, it was quite smooth. And because they had been able to experience it before, they put all this into effect. And I think they were the better team. Looking at how they started, 4-2 win in their first game. They also went ahead 3-1 in their last group encounter. I think they were just dominant in all their games. And even in their final game, when they took the lead, they went into a match management mode. They were able to just manage the game. And once again, I think that it shows that proper investment in our women's football is huge for us. The women's game is growing. And now, going forward, we understand that there will be a fixed amount of $35,000 for our women's Premier League winners to prepare in Africa and all that, which are all quite good investments for them. And once again, it's a huge plus to the current GFN, what they are doing for Ghana football in terms of women's football. Much investment now. I think we get to see the women play week in, week out. Pitch-wise, they can get better, but I think that is a huge step for them. And they can learn from what Hazakes ladies did in their first time around, also doing so well. I remember that squad, and each benefit, because once Hazakes ladies went to that tournament and had a huge impact, we saw Evelyn Bedu and then Doris Bedu and all that players leaving subsequently. So they can learn from such and then go and do well, knowing the fact that their players will get huge deals later in life.
Good
So
exposure.
yeah, I think for me it's a good one for Ghana women's football. They should go to La Côte d'Ivoire for the women's tournament. I think to start in 5th November.
Yeah.
Yes, so they should go there.
It's happening next door.
Yeah, yes. And also a place where we're playing the AFCON. So they should go there, go and sprinkle good waters over there for the Black Stars next year.
Yeah.
And hopefully we see how things will go.
For Game Park, they are proud sponsors of Sports Panorama. What does wealth mean to you? That's what they are asking. Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, who's got the moolah's got the power. Now, Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phone, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park apps on Play Store. You can also play on your website or on our website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing star 946 hash. That's star 946 hash on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some cash. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. Let me talk about another issue that is personally bothering me. It's becoming, I think, a habit, I believe. We have a AFCON qualifier on the 7th of September. The team sheet is nowhere to be found.
No, but you make it.
It is being cooked. It is being cooked.
No.
You make it look.
We are cooking. We are cooking.
I make it look like what?
No, but
But
to the best
am I
of my
lying?
knowledge,
Not to be found.
to the best of my knowledge, the coach has given the list out to the FA.
We are cooking.
They are the one very typical of them. Because if you have no intention of influencing the man's list, you should put it out there.
Well,
If you are sincere, you should put it out there.
I don't know this
Maybe
because
they are contacting
maybe the coach and the FA have agreed that for tactical reasons, like they said the last time,
Against Nigeria,
they don't want to.
crucial qualifier. Yes, if
That's
you
what
go down
I'm
that
saying.
tangent,
Can we assume that?
Why should you see? We want to do things differently, and we
last time
want
it
to.
worked.
It worked well.
Does it help?
The last time
It doesn't help.
Does it help to
worked
spring
well.
a tactic?
we
Hey,
managed to
you
get
call that
managed to
work?
qualify at the
Because that
expense
it
of
worked.
Nigeria
Let me say
to the
it
World
worked.
Cup.
Is it because you didn't release your
We
squad?
beat,
do you mean it
we
didn't work?
beat Nigeria not because we kept our squad from them. No,
I mean, let's be. No, hold on.
let's
hold
not
on,
make it
hold
as
on.
if
Let's be honest.
football-
See, I'm sure that the Central African Republic have scouts, and according to their scouts, they will probably know at least 90% of the list. we are
they
going
know
to
Pate
put.
will be coming.
Kudus will be
They
coming.
know Kudus will be coming.
Football is scientific.
Antoine Semenyo.
For we, the scientists, when we see people behave in this manner,
Black Stars list no one. His squad list no
what
one.
is this?
It is being cooked.
Wale mene try team. Now me time aka me gba wo me. Wale mene bet team.
Southgate has released
Me
this.
team many atwa Black Star team. If you are unattached, you've got no business being in this team.
Are you saying that there's a possibility that free agents might get in on the action?
No, but at the end of the day, why are they keeping the list away from Ghana? You want us to go and watch the match?
Yes.
You want me to go and watch the match?
And a good point
Something
to promote
should- Exactly.
to promote the game would have been
How do I
who is
promote
coming
the game
down.
without know who is coming down, who is involved, and all that? How would I promote the game? No more. It is very titikwa behavior.
Elizabethan behavior, medieval.
You see, at the end of the day, you do all these things.
Man.
If you don't win, is it a match that we are going to play that we've never played before?
Or we played better games.
Qualifiers, African qualifiers. We've played better qualifying games before. Central African Republic. Ghana, we are going to play against Central African Republic. We are behaving as if we are afraid.
And it's likely Kondogbia will not be available.
At the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. You see, we should stop these things and behave like people who do what they are doing. Don't do these things. You see, you have the list because of where you sit. So you don't see anything wrong with it. And that is very wrong. The list is not your list. It is our list. So you cannot be keeping our list to yourself because of where you sit. What moral right have you got to turn around and come and tell us that we should go and support the team? When it comes to supporting the team, you know it is our team. But when it comes to picking players into our team, you want to behave as if the team is yours. Stop these things. It has to stop. These are not proper way of running football. Are we the only country in the world who is going to be playing a qualifiers? Every other country I know, to the best of my, they've all released their list.
Yeah, our opponent just released theirs 7 hours ago.
They will always do, because you see, football has evolved. Sports in general is evolved, and it keeps evolving. So if you want to sit in that archaic, obsolete way of doing things, sit there. The fact of the matter is this: bring out the list. When you do these things, people will now begin to suspect that. Because, look, if you are honest and sincere, what is there to hide? Nketsia, what is there to hide? The Black Stars is the pinnacle of Ghana football. It is the zenith of our game. Oh, no more. Hijack.
He's not coming on. Oh, he's not coming. Coming to give you moral support.
Why do you threaten whenever? You see, when you are coming, let me know you are coming.
At least you can give us some answers.
Okay,
I mean, while we are on the tangent of the Black Stars,
coming to enriching the discussion.
Thank you.
No. So when you are coming, you come prepared. Let me know you are coming. So I prepare and face this falling. You understand?
So you are not prepared. So you are not prepared.
For those of you who are wondering, the voice you are hearing, that's Aminu Shadow, Black Stars team
my
manager.
Very good friend.
So you are not prepared.
My very good friend.
You can give us some context to this conversation.
My brother, my everything.
You are timely. Are you a ninja? How did you appear when we were having the Black Stars conversation?
Your producers were supposed to.
Team manager.
What is the meaning of this?
He's enjoying. I mean, look, I'm personally worried about this trend of late Black Star squad releases. What's going on? Why don't we have a Black Star squad list less than a week to the game?
Good evening.
Thank you.
First and foremost, I appreciate the concern being expressed. Normally, a week to a crucial game such as the one we are going to have next week, we should have the list by now. Normally, that's how it's supposed to be. But there are some peculiar challenges being faced by the technical team. They are trying to finalize everything. Ordinarily, the squad was supposed to have been out by now.
Okay.
Yes. But like I told you, there are some peculiar challenges.
Okay. Can you explain these peculiar challenges? Or
with some of the players and all that.
Money bet team.
Team Sunday. It's not about.
Can you give us an idea about these peculiar
challenges? I can't go beyond what I've told you. I'm not authorized to go into details. All I'm saying is that there are some peculiar challenges, but we appreciate the concerns being expressed. In fact, normally you should have been out by now. So you are in the right.
Is the FA assuring us that this is not going to be habitual? Because
no, but it's not habitual.
It's beginning. No,
I mean it happened only once.
The last crucial game we played.
Similar to this. The last crucial game. Under the same circumstance, where it was a must-win.
But it paid off. Didn't it pay off?
It paid off, but
so relax.
So then there's no peculiar. It's because of what they did the last time.
Okay,
but you are defending that the last time it paid off.
But it paid off, didn't it?
Okay, that's fair.
But the reason why I came here last week, I heard my brother Christopher. He was saying Dreams FC will not qualify to the next stage.
I never said.
No, you don't.
Try record it.
Play the voice.
Try record it.
We are not this.
Try record it.
We are not. No, hold on.
In fact, last week here on the program, I did doubt. I doubted the qualification of Media Man.
Hold on. One person speak at a time.
While listening to him, I felt so down.
My very good friend.
No.
You don't have even confidence. If you don't have confidence in a playing body, at least
You didn't listen well. You didn't listen
Don't you
well.
have confidence?
He says you are
listen well.
misquoting. He says you are
You didn't
misquoting.
listen. I rather said-
Hold on. Let him
I
put his
rather
words
said
in
that
context.
I expect Dream FC to call because
was media. He had
they
to
have
have
an
Media Man's
advantage. I
qualification.
was doubt. I said Media Man. I mean, yeah, even in my prayers, these are my words. I mean, yeah, me call T and be happy now. So I didn't have any conviction that Media Man will qualify. But for Dreams FC,
they were
I said
coming
it will be shocking to me if they don't acknowledge they have an advantage to qualify. And I say, you are Jomo Dreams FC. No job Media Man may qualify. I said it.
Aminu needs to.
No, but
When I'm here, my brother is.
Let's talk about the Black Stars. Stay on cue. Stay on cue. Stay on cue. Now, I'm going to bring up another issue that you might find a little controversial. The last time we had Andre Ayew in the national team, I'm going to talk about Aminu. Hold on. You see, it's a conversation that has come up because he's still a free agent, like coach is saying. He was excluded. He was excluded. I think he was excluded during Chris Hughton's first ever Black Star squad naming. There was a lot of controversy about it. I'd want you to clear that thing up because we never heard anything proper. And first of all, was he
the one that they said he
good? Was he around? He was injured.
We've gone past that one.
I'm saying I'm putting it in context because I'm saying that I think ideally, I'm not saying I'm Chris Hughton. Ideally, Andrea, you should not be part of this national team list that's about to come out. Ideally, is there a chance that players who are unattached might make?
Does he have a fair idea of
Ghanaian, many bet team. Go bet team.
Hold on. But this is a question that is meant for the coach.
Oh, so, you're the team manager.
Yes, but I can't answer for the coach. Unfortunately, I'm not able to give you a direct answer. It is a preserve of the coach. When the list comes out, it will give you a clear direction of what the coach is trying to do.
Fair enough. Also, I mean,
I'm coming. He cannot answer for the coach. But just as he could say some time back that he would have preferred the team to be given to Otuado. I'm also using program of you. I'm also asking the team, if you were the coach, Aminu, in your position, would you call a player who doesn't have a team to be part of your team? Dreams FC or no manager or your coach? If the player is not playing actively, will he be part of the Dreams FC team that qualified to the next stage of the CAF Confederation Cup?
So you mean he should answer it in
his own capacity?
The difference between you and I is that whereas you don't have the opportunity to make these concerns known to the team, you know, it's only fair that you can also, this is the opportunity you can air your grievances.
But you have aired your grievances.
I have the opportunity to speak my mind when discussions are ongoing around these things. So it will be very, very unfair that having spoken my mind there, I bring it here.
I like that.
So whatever opinions you have,
I've shared it.
Fair enough. Talk to me about going to Kumasi for this game. I say that releasing a squad list is a good part of marketing your strategy or marketing a game. The Kumasi fans don't know who is coming down. I don't know if promo has started for the game in Kumasi, but what is the FA doing to market this game? It's a big game. I'm not hearing much about it.
It's because there's a lot of activities going on, and today they just finished the Super League, the Division 1 Super League.
Yep, been following that.
At the weekend, we have the Champion of Champion game, and then we have the Black Stars game. Immediately after that, the CAF matches also come on, and then the league starts. So a lot of things are happening at the same time. But like I said, I understand the concerns you've raised. It's all about having the list. And honestly, that's the ideal situation, that you get a list, so close to the game time. You have the list. You people can have your discussions, your disagreement, and whatnot. All parts of the build up to the game. But like I told you, there are some peculiar challenges that has delayed the list. But I'm sure that those answers those questions will be answered once the list comes out. You get a fair idea of what the challenges.
Will the media get a chance to speak to Chris Hughton about his selection of players before this game?
I pretty much doubt it. I don't know. I've not been briefed on any arrangements towards that. But it could change tomorrow. I don't know.
I mean, but
as I speak now, we don't have any indication of such an engagement.
But you are again, right? Let me just you are team manager, so these are things that are right up your alley.
Yes.
Arranging presses, interactions, and are you saying that you are going away from these things because Ghanaians always love to hear reasons for why their players are coming or who's not coming?
All these things, they are things that are planned. For instance, like I told you, there are peculiar challenges that are holding up the squad. Now, when the squad is announced, the time frame for him to train and all that. You remember, we have a very, very brief, very, very tight schedule towards the game, the crucial game. Remember, this is a very crucial game. We need to get the results to seal qualification. So the priority will be geared towards preparing the team adequately to get us the results. So I'm not too sure. That's what I'm saying. I'm not too sure. In the draft plan that we've had so far, there's nothing of this nature. However, things could change based on the peculiar circumstances in which we find ourselves.
Well, he's talking about the draft plans. Do you know the team's itinerary between now and when the game is played?
Yeah, it will be announced alongside when the squad is named. Yeah.
I mean, I want to talk about club football.
Yes.
Dreams have made it to the next stage of CAF Confederation Cup qualifying. I'm sure Dreams wants to go all the way. Is the team ready in terms of, especially finances, because playing on the continent is tough. It's demanding. I mean, he's
Relax, you don't know that.
President team. Look, if they have to go all the way to the final, there's money to go.
I mean,
talk about the playing body. Is no problem.
I mean, I asked because the journey now to the group stage is relatively shorter than before.
Yeah.
So I think it's only the next stage to conquer, and then how, in terms of finance, to go the long haul, is Dreams ready? Is Dreams prepared? And then on top of that, are there any plans to add to the squad? Because the Confederation Cup is as tough as any competition you can think about. Are there plans to add to this team to ensure that they can take on the rest of the continent and do very well?
Of course, we want to do well. Nobody can even, I'm not sure if you bring any of the established powerhouses in African football and ask them whether financially they are ready. It's akin to saying you have everything that you require to be successful. You can't have everything. But we've committed to playing this competition and we want to do well. Like I said,
what is doing well for Dreams FC?
For us, the first target is to get to the group stage. Once we get to the group stage, then we can, based on whatever happens, the group we find ourselves, we can re-strategize and see the next target. But for us, the primary target is to get to the group stage. The last time a Ghanaian club made it to the group stage of this competition was 5 seasons ago. Is the reason why? Yes, no, that was Kotoko.
That was Kotoko. Okay.
Is the reason why our representation in Africa has dropped from 4 to 2. And a country like Guinea have 4 because one club, Koroya, has been doing so well consistently in the Champions League and the Confederation Cup. So for us, we want to make a strong case for Ghana football. We want to prove a point that Ghana football still has the capacity to rub shoulders with some of the best. And based on what I saw in the first leg, we are not too far off. In fact, we are better. I think we are better off. But just that, again, finances and organization, for me, is very, very important. If you're well organized, you are able to plan properly and make sure that you make the right decisions in terms of putting players together, the right technical team, even travels and all that. If you're able to do that very well, you have a good chance. And for us, we have a very, very good chance of making it to the group stage because the second preliminary round, the additional preliminary round where teams drop from the Champions League has been cut off. And also, Sierra Leone might not even play. The team from Sierra Leone, Calon FC, might not play their game in Sierra Leone because they don't have
standard facility.
The location of the standard facility is over 200 kilometers, which is the limit for CAF. So it's very, very likely that they will not even have the home advantage. So all the stars seem to be aligning for us, and it's up to us to take maximum opportunity of it and make sure at least the primary target of making it to the group stage is achieved.
Let me just ask
go to the group stages after this one.
Yes. Let me just ask. Let me ask you a follow-up question that's been a little contentious. So Karim Zito finishes the game against Milo FC and says, if our league was ongoing, we'll probably be playing better. Tony Orbin says performing well in CAF competitions has nothing to do with the league running or not. Where do you stand in that?
Well, if you play more competitive games, chances are that you sharpen your skills even better. You can only get better. From our standpoint of view, I agree with the coach. If you're playing, the more games you play,
so you would have preferred that the league was up and running by now.
Yes, I mean, during my submission on it, that's been my biggest problem. I've always said it.
Sharp, you play.
Yeah. Because
every coach will want that.
Up until now, we've only engaged in friendly matches, and the intensity in playing friendly matches and the mentality even of the players
is not the same.
Was that a challenge as you took on?
Yeah, you could see, especially when we played them in the first leg in Guinea. We were leading up to the 75th minute or so. You could tell that the boys were getting tired. In fact, most of the substitutions that were made were forced due to cramps and all that. These are to be expected. First competitive game being thrown into the deep end. That's quite demanding for the players. But as we move on, we also knew beforehand that per the calendar, we're not going to play competitive games. So what do? You try to build the match fitness of the players by playing a lot of friendly matches, even though I admit the mentality is different. We want to make good use of whatever opportunity that is at our disposal and make sure we hit the primary target of getting to the group stage.
Okay, any more questions? I think Aminu.
Today I'm here with you.
No, we have a transfer deadline day.
So one more question. How is your relationship with the head coach of the Black Stars?
Very good. We had, in fact, I had discussions here since in town. I had discussions. Very, very good.
How did he take that, your comment?
No, he like I said, he was concerned. Per what was being reported, he was very, very concerned. So he called me into a meeting.
But I know you easily.
Yeah, and then I learned the fact.
When I advised you on that, you took it. You came here, you didn't say anything about that.
Which one?
Which
one?
Let me get to my message box and read some of your messages that have been coming in so far. Need from Michelle Camp says, no more Nimley. The news is simple. The midfield marshal has arrived and will partner the midfield general. Solomon from Koforidia says, more fire. We are in with you today. Hey, Ghana football, free agent mood. This one here is from Soy Dade from McCarthy Hills, I think. He says, now let's see the new Black Stars call-ups. Ghana and football people. Okay. Hashtag Citi FM. Okay. The best sports show in Africa. Ray from Abokobi says, good evening, guys. I don't understand this so-called tactical thing holding the team sheet of the Black Stars. England have released theirs. Is the FA claiming to be more tactical and have more footballing brains?
No, but I can also mention other countries who have no mention. Who have not listed their squad?
Are we? Yes. I mean, they are dancing their own dance.
Yes.
In their own.
So which we are dancing our own dance.
He says we have
peculiar challenges. Once the squad is
only one challenge.
When will this be named?
When it is named, I'm sure by what you see, you understand.
Because I think the game is on next.
It's on Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, from Sprintex says, good evening, panelists. Congrats to Mpimdakwa ladies. The future of our Black Queens is brighter. Numo Hornsby from Kaswa says, Coach once recommended the interesting combo of chilled bell puka and hot kele willy. I'm currently trying that combo, and I can confirm that Coach is indeed the potions master and the chemistry expert for a reason. 10/10 stuff. Highly recommend. Big ups to all the guys in the studio. Special shout outs to Susu Graham, the stats prof. He's right in the background. He'll be joining us soon in the studio. Jones from Adoboy says, good evening, guys. I was having a severe headache, but after Coach's prayers, in fact, everything vanished. Coach, thank you.
Amen.
I have a show down with you. Charlie, the word showdown, you must not be using it by heart.
Showdown. Showdown.
You have to give him a showdown.
Showdown.
No, Paddy, you here? Oh, no more showdown, baby.
Alexander from Simon Adakoji says, hey, Susu Graham, where has he been? We have missed his presence. You will hear from him today. This one's from Ekuya from DC. Says, Axel, Amel Bella Kochap, I think you say, and Andre to complete the transfer window. Please, Liverpool. Charlie, Bella Kochap will be juicy. I'm telling you.
Salah.
Kochap is on Bayern Munich's radar.
Bayern Munich, their window has closed. They can't buy any. They said their fax machine broke down, and that's why they couldn't sign Palhinha. I can't believe this. This is Farouk headliner.
Imagine this happened here.
No, but we blame him. It doesn't happen.
So it happens. Something's happening.
No. We won't take that. Just because it happens to Bayern doesn't mean it should happen to you.
Things happen.
People are very suspicious of our system. So if you come and tell them the fax machine broke,
they'll give all kinds of reasons.
That's why here, Farouk Elana says, Coach should slow down, we beg. Remember all how you hyped Sancho, Telles, Mount, Maguire, Mourinho, Ole, Martial, Pogba, Fred, Soberto, Pocoli, and then disassemble.
Who's Pocoli?
Disassemble Haaland.
Is it disassemble? Before they were all signed, and now he's hyping Andrew Tate too. Yo, we did here, Charlie. This one here is from Zylex doing in London. It says, with Liverpool, I'm okay with the signing so far. You never walk alone. Courage from Koforidia. His coach should simply say another prayer for Real Madrid to sign Mbappe before the window ends. I believe the rabbi's prayer will be heard because this will be the biggest wahala of all time. 5 years pending. This one says, it's from Legacy from Pentecost Investors. Casemiro Amrabat combo is case Abba. Charlie, what be all these things?
But you know that
Charlie.
The greatest
Kanzo and things all for you.
The greatest.
We don't see
what's
anything.
the name? I'm trying to find in programming language. They'll say a concatenation. Right?
Yeah.
The greatest addition of names was the Kukurudu one. It still kills me.
I don't know what they got. Chef Paco says, I find this FA court case very fishy. What if this is leading to the postponing of the FA elections, and then the admin takes the Black Stars to the AFCON, and when they do well, use that as a campaign message to get away? Charlie, is it a conspiracy theory people are pushing?
That would not happen because the FA constitution itself has a way to deal with this matter. If the election is not held.
I always say one thing. If like Ghana football elections were done like on the national level, like it would have been very serious.
Very serious.
Interesting stuff. Let me get good luck for my Denta says, good evening, guys. I'm happy because today Man United have signed the player I was waiting for. Amrabat. Man United is in my DNA. Hey, Charlie, when you go for cool down.
Control a neighbor.
Charlie. Abochi from Nungwa says, Sheikh Altani Mubarak's prayer today is the height for me this evening. I'm actually enjoying myself. Oh, Numo Nimley, I feel fulfilled. I don't care what happens in the transfer window anymore. Amrabat to United. Here we go.
Do not trust Manchester United. Ray can foul this transfer up.
Hold on. Ray from Spintex says, I'm an ardent listener and first-time texter. Coach gave me goosebumps with the Amrabat prayers. At long last, he's finally in and I can breathe deeply now. Yo. Tony, texting from Legon. Yes. Hello, guys. How is football treating you all? So you guys have decided not to talk about the MLS, how Messi is the new referee, how he decides where to take his free kick, so many more. And you know what I'm saying? People have the Puka is being chilled. They'll bring it through very soon.
Last week, Louis
Obring from Asylum Down says Mohamed Kudus has made a great move to West Ham. He will score this evening against Luton. Arteta should stop the experiment and tweaking of Partey at right back. Rice is suffering in the middle due to the formation. Arsenal will beat United 2-1. Regards to coach and the entire crew. This one here from Kofi Supremo says the midfield general Amrabat has finally arrived at the theatre of dreams. The Glazers' reluctance to inject money in this club makes me sad. If it continues like this, Citi will monopolize the league. This one here says George from Springfield, Missouri. Okay, it says I want to tell coach that we Arsenal fans are going to use this team to lay down a marker for the season. Cool Ayoko for Arteta and the boys.
They start as favorite because Amrabat may not play. If you have any beating of United, beat us once and for all. Because in that return leg.
Charlie, let me just go through the timetable for the House of Folk fans. Your spiritual cleansing before the season starts. Hey, they say spiritual. They say spiritual in commerce preparation towards the 2023-24 football season. Program lineup.
Phobia.
Date and time. Friday, 1st September.
Nice one.
Islamic prayers. I think that has happened already. Presentation to Chief Imam. It has happened. That's Central Mosque, Kalkudi. Board members, management. Okay, they've done that. Tomorrow, annual purification ceremony.
Phobia.
Annual purification ceremony. Accra Newtown, board members, players, NCC.
What do they mean by privy?
Annual. Hey,
What was that?
now, are you asking me? Do I look like so? Do I look like I can be? They say annual means it happens every year. Purification ceremony. If you know, you know.
It has been resulted in 12th place finishes.
Sunday. Christian church service. St. Mary's Anglican Church.
Phobia.
Akoto Lante. And then on Sunday again at 3 p.m. friendly match. House of Folk versus Okoye United.
They're testing everything.
Training grounds, Pobiman. Is soon. They are testing the grounds. Yeah, Toby said very soon 25,000 capacity to rear its head over there. Monday, team camp. At the then they do all the cleansing finish. So, House of Folk fans, that's what's going on. You can text into the show 0549-986-996, 0549-986-996. Show proudly brought to us by Bell Puka and Game Park. We'll take a quick breather. We'll come back with transfer deadline day. Nathan.
Yes. I just remember. I want to ask you something.
Ball of you. This is football.
Spiritual
This is football. It is modern. I wish. Come on. I'm a Jukole. Behu. I'm a Jukole. Where I feel you now. What Petroch one nake. It's in Jukole. What is this?
They are giving to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
You see, when you do these things and the coach is sacked, the supporters go to
the training ground
and drive the coach away. What happens to all these purification methods? You are rather going to bring curse upon the team. So you better do proper football. Budget na ke for ni bi na hi. Yakwe. Oh, Toby.
Anyway, I have a question before we take a break. I have a question for Aminu. Aminu, you are. I can call you part of the establishment, right? Are you part of the establishment?
He's team manager.
Aminu, you are
part of the establishment.
If he's not part, then I'm not even part of that.
Are you part of the establishment?
No, I'm not part of it. Yeah. So if he is not part, then I'm not even part.
Aminu, the league starts in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
What conversations have been had concerning fans, attendance, getting more people to go and watch the games? Because all of us here, whether we are part of the establishment or not, share that one uniform concern. Fans are not going to the grounds. And we want them to go watch the league. We want them to participate. Mando Heart of Lions are back. Nations FC, whatever. What conversations have been had? Or if you have even given a few suggestions, what do you think can be done to reverse the trend? Because we need more people to be watching the games. We need more people to patronize. But we don't have those numbers in the various stadia we have.
Very, very difficult to give one straight answer because you see the fan behavior differs from club to club based on your peculiar reasons and all that. And I've come up with my own theory for big clubs like us and Kotoko who command fan base across Ghana, and it has been through my observation. The year House of Folk won the league, attendance to their games much better than it is now. The year that House and Kotoko were neck to neck for the league title, we all saw it. We all saw, even at the height of COVID, when there was 25%, the Olympics game, we all saw it.
They're even breaking gates and all that to enter.
BBN Gold Stars, when they play in BBN, command quite good and appreciable numbers. Same with Samatex. Dreams FC, very bad. So my conclusion is that, for instance, Dreams FC was born in the Mamobini Newtown enclave. But we play our football 100 kilometers away from our core fan base. It's a problem.
Big problem.
So by default, we've taken the club away from its fan base, its core fan base, and we need to go and nurture another fan base 100 kilometers away from where the club was born. I have no doubt in my mind, if Dreams FC, for instance, was playing at Kaukudi, where there was a standardized center for us to play, we'll command very, very good numbers. So it differs from club to club. I've just given you a situation with Dreams FC. When you go into other clubs, Samatex are doing very, very well. There are promotions, where they play, even the architecture of their stadium, not too big, very, very good.
They've done some good work.
I don't see why Kinfesa, for instance, will play at the Barbarians. It's too big a
ground
for them and all that. So it's
I mean, it's a case by case basis.
It's a case by case basis, and
we live in a unique.
And the truth of the matter too is that I don't think as clubs, and I always blame clubs for this. As clubs, I don't think we are doing enough to court our fans. We are not doing enough at all. And I look at my club, for instance, I know people spend a lot of money into promotion of games.
Yeah.
We literally don't spend anything.
Not even the 1 million Ghana cedi allocated for promotion and marketing.
But you know very well there's nothing like 1 million that has been taken.
You signed the contract to that.
But that was the agreement.
But that was explained.
Who explained that?
It has been even the general secretary has explained the terms of that agreement.
Okay, so
why did you
make progress? We need to wrap up with this segment.
So the point is that we are not doing enough in promoting the games, but there are also peculiar reasons why, from club to club, why we are not commanding the numbers.
Well, I think we'll take that. Aminu has done the 360. We'll take a break here. When we come back, Susu Graham, let's get into the world of transfers. Quick breather, and then we'll get into some Don't Call Me.
Take a sip and taste the flow. Life it be hard sometimes, but let it go.
Feel the flow for your patio. Realize to get your feet on the floor. It's now ice. You feel it burn. You feel it burn. Take a sip of the ice and feel it burn. You feel it burn.
Bell Ice Lemon, Pineapple, Orange, and Bell Ice Vodka Mix bring premium enjoyment. Grab a Bell Ice available in PET, glass, or can with alcohol levels of 5.5, 8, and 18% and enjoy.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18 years. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Another quality product from Bell Aqua.
It's Bell Ice.
Bell Ice, Mephilia.
You know?
City 97.3.
Accra. A Donda also is Don't Call Me time.
One place, May, for sale, 120 cheap. Don't come you, don't come me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't come you, don't come me. For the striker we can consider. Don't come you, don't come me. We know they see you use Tina Boka. Don't come you.
Some goals are Sansa Taurus. Now one time she goes a prince of ghosts. Now on one yard drinks a Teves. And then your coach one come at home. A Donda also.
Don't come you, don't come me.
Let's go. It's Don't Call Me time.
Don't come you, don't come me.
It's Don't Call Me time.
Don't come you, don't come me.
Catch that.
Tina Boka. Don't come you, don't come me.
Catch that. It's Don't Call Me time.
Medasi.
A Donda also is Don't Call Me time.
One place, May, for sale, 120 cheap. Don't come you, don't come me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't come you, don't come me. For the striker we can consider. Don't come you, don't come me. We know they see you use Tina Boka. Don't come you.
Some goals are Sansa Taurus. Now one time she goes a prince of ghosts. Now on one yard drinks a Teves. And then your coach one come at home. A Donda also.
Don't come you, don't come me.
Let's go. It's Don't Call Me time.
Don't come you, don't come me.
It's Don't Call Me time.
Don't come you, don't come me.
Catch that.
Tina Boka. Don't come you, don't come me.
Catch that. It's Don't Call Me time.
Medasi. And it's officially Don't Call Me time. So what's going to happen is that we're going to discuss one, anticipated deal. So deals that could happen before the window shuts. Two, done deals. Deals that have happened in the last 48 hours and maybe a little over. And then we will talk about Ghanaian transfers. There have been a few big Ghanaian transfers this window. And then we'll also probably talk about botched transfer deals. Deals we thought would happen, but some way, somehow managed to fall through. Let's start off, of course, with the hottest one, I believe, Sofiane Amrabat. I personally didn't think this would happen. I didn't think it would happen. Fiorentina had raised concerns about United's approach and methods of trying to get Amrabat to play for them? Well, the news today is that he will join on a loan deal, I believe, and then United will have the option to purchase for 30 million if they so want. It's not an obligatory purchase for them. Okay, so I think there's a new update on this 15 seconds right now. Amrabat is signing his contract as a new Man United player. Coach!
Who gave that update?
Fabrizio Romano.
Oh, no more.
Nathan, why are you so skeptical?
Manchester United. I haven't seen them do any proper thing in the transfer window.
So you are thinking this is too good to be true?
Unless the club now announces me.
The man is signing the thing. As we speak, he's sitting on the same table with Eric Ten Hag.
A club.
Yeah.
A club that says that we say we are a big club. We say we are a serious club. And yet you go into a window. You don't plan. You want to get yourself a defensive midfielder or a partner for Casemiro. It's taking you 3.5 months to sign a player you could have signed for peanuts.
I was surprised. That they are not.
I actually think maybe Ten Hag didn't want him.
No. He was Ten Hag's number one choice.
The way is taking long, and when Ten Hag has wanted other players, they've moved a bit more
quicker.
Well, I have a different opinion today.
Talk to me about it tactically. You've said commander, the string puller,
controller.
Charlie, the controller,
the orchestra,
PS5.
Talk to me about
African finest at the World Cup.
Hey, Charlie.
No doubt. Which African player was better than him at the World Cup? No doubt. When he plays, the entire continent move along with him.
Hey, Charlie.
We saw it at the World Cup. In that moment, when Safran Amrabat, you see, when Amrabat was on the ball, the entire continent, Nketsia, truth be told, admittedly, is what I'm saying not true? Doing the work, didn't you?
He was impressive.
He was absolutely the best. So now, what does he bring to this team? Oh my gosh! Oh la ila. You are Shidambo one.
Is this a game changer for United?
Absolutely. Look, you watch United in that first game, in that second game, even in that third game. Casemiro was doing the job of 2 people, at times 3 people. Eric Ten Hag, after the phases, have always admitted to the fact that somebody needs to be alongside Casemiro. Clearly, there are games where you need both Amrabat and Casemiro. What are those games? If you are going to Anfield, if you are going to the Etihad, if you are going to the Emirates, if you are going to Chelsea, these are the games where the controller gets on the pitch and he controls the tempo of games. That is Amrabat's biggest weapon. He's so confident on the ball that he decides when to let go of it. He gives his teammates enough breathing space to recover their energy and get in tune with his tenacity and his tempo.
Hey, you sound almost poetic.
No, but I'm telling you.
Then coach shouldn't be teaching chemistry. You should be teaching literature.
You sound poetic.
No, I'm telling you. You see,
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Of course, when you see him play, he controls the tempo of every game.
and even at club level, let's be honest, he had a very good season because Fiorentina got to Coppa Italia final, Conference League final. They did decently in the league.
Yes, and fundamentally, look, I think he was the best in Italy in terms of tackling, in terms of forward passing, control. Good numbers. If you can put the numbers out there.
The Fiorentina team, they play very expansive football. And if you are the number 6 there,
you are the controller. He's in charge. So for me, it gives Andre Onana again more passing option. Now, if you look at what teams in the first 3 games, when Onana picks the ball, they tend to block the channel to Casemiro. And they force him to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But if you block Casemiro, the controller picks it up. And then he turns around and he does the distribution with cheeky ease.
The controller.
Yeah, he controls the game.
Then, and you see why.
Let's
let him
When you listen to Eric Ten Hag, he said he needs a player who can control the tempo of games. And fundamentally, Safran Amrabat is the one who does that with ease. Look, Amrabat is strong. it is extremely very difficult to brush him off. When Amrabat is in his element, nobody comes closer to him. That's the way I see. See, look, you talk about Partey, you talk about Declan Rice, you talk about Enzo Fernandez, you talk about Moise Caicedo. Amrabat, very underrated. This is the league. This is the league that will unleash Amrabat to the world. I'm telling you, everybody listening
you are 110% convinced he can make the jump.
Absolutely no doubt about it.
Different quality, different pace.
He's come to, he'll be playing with quality players around him. He's never played with any midfielder like Casemiro before. So they can only complement each other and make each other better and run the show with ease. I'll add that, with ease. Cheeky. Look, he's the master.
I can't believe the things I'm hearing.
He's the master.
See, some of it's just like...
No, he's the... See, look.
It's
look.
You mean I should just relax?
Many parties at Japan, but I'm not all day. And Leponia trust all day. And do.
Crowd trust.
Not talking.
But I was about to ask a question. Why did Liverpool not even try for Amrabat? He wasn't.
They went. He turned them down.
I think Amrabat only had eyes for United.
He turned every look. Juve came, Liverpool came, all of them came. He said, "I'm going to the Red Devils." In fact, I have lots of respect for him because look, if it was any other player, he wouldn't have waited.
Liverpool did show interest in him. They did show concrete interest.
But anytime you went to him, no, that is my choice. And I'm sure the people at United were constantly telling him that, look, relax, we'll come for you. If you want to come to us, we too want to come for you, we'll come for you. Look, he will stabilize that midfield alongside Casemiro. Okay. Most people will now begin to see the true Manchester United. Because if you have these two guys, look, if you want them to butcher, they will butcher. If you want them to be calm, they will be calm. If you want them to play technical, they'll play tactically. They are aware of the situations. Ability to pass, ability to receive, ability to tackle. Everything you need in the midfielder, these two guys have it. Look, you talk about Declan Rice complimenting Thomas Partey. Yep. You talk about Enzo Fernandez being complimented by Moise Caicedo. You talk about... Can you say you cannot talk about Casemiro being complimented by Amrabat? Compare. Let's compare. Let's not compare.
He hasn't kicked the ball yet.
Forget him.
He hasn't even
He's not going to learn how to play football now. He's been playing football.
So you mean he will hit the ground running?
No more. On the marks, get set, P.
Okay, I've heard you.
I want to adjust.
I don't want me the moves.
Thank you.
You see, coach was talking about the stars, so I just want to bring it. So he was. So he was 8th for passes into the final third in the whole of Syria. Okay. He was 9th in progressive passes. Okay. So coach is right. He's going to move the ball, control the tempo. And when he was at Hellas Verona, this was a few years ago, a different role. He was 4th in successful take-on. So he's also good on the ball. He can drive the ball for
actually dribble out of spaces.
And I'll add something very interesting. He only played 29 league games, but he's still in the top 10 for the passes. So that should show you that he's a very good player. So imagine if he had played 35, how much higher he could have been on that list. So I think when it comes to the passing and moving the ball, we've seen it. And when we saw him at the World Cup, we saw the more defensive side. And something I'll add is he's very regularly in the top 10 for fouls committed. So he throws himself. He's active. He's defensive.
The way the English league is being...
I'll tell you what I like about him. He generally has a very high motor. Like, if you need him to run 200,
he's
200 minutes.
But I forgot about that word. He's fearless.
The one thing I have to say is I agree with Nathan that United did not handle this transfer well. That's the one criticism of the transfer.
You think he should have come in early?
I think that
should have been the first signing.
See, for me, I feel like top teams, and I said this when we were doing the Premier League preview show, you should have 3/4 of your targets in by preseason.
Agreed.
You should have 3/4 in.
It's the Glazers.
Then some 1-2 that because for me this deal looks weird because you could have got him for because apparently they accepted 17 million from Nottingham Forest for him. Now you're paying a 10 million loan fee with a 30 million option.
No, of course. You see, it's a 10 million loan fee with a 20 million.
Okay, 20
5 million.
But that's still 35. When they would have taken 20 if you had come earlier.
The value of the 20 will drop by next year it will drop to like 10.
I still feel like you're getting a bargain for him.
But you see, I don't disagree. I'm just saying that when you could have probably got him for,
you should have moved quicker, gotten him to preseason, and then cheaper.
I agree.
It's sloppy. Because had Man United,
I think if he had played in that game, we wouldn't have lost against Spurs.
Look, I think if United had bagged this player early, I think
even the Wolves game that Wolves were
whatever
running,
experiment Ten Hag wants to do with Mason Mount, I think he would have quickly realized that Mason Mount is either a substitute for Bruno or at worst play him wide. Because when you analyze Man United and what they want to do this season, the reasoning behind it makes a lot of sense. Where your two number 8s are pressing high, because in principle your goalkeeper is moving the team line higher up, so they press higher. It makes sense on paper. Yeah. But such a system requires everybody to be playing at almost 8/10 levels all across. So if somebody's performance drops, you have, it's almost like dominoes. It just cascades through the rest of the team. That's what happened at Spurs. Man United the first half, United's tactical plan made sense. They should have even been leading. In that second half, when players' commitments dropped, so people stopped pressing, people stopped running, Spurs took charge. So I feel that if Erik ten Hag had it at the back of his mind that this is what he wanted his team to do this season, he would have plugged in the parts needed to make the system work. Yeah. You understand? Not go and buy a ball-playing goalkeeper first. That's the point I kept making. That United needed to have sorted out the components first. Then you add the goalkeeper. Everything else clicks into place.
But I agree with Nathan. I think the goalkeeper purchase
because of how
what Inter Milan was also saying at the time. Because Inter was saying that if you need Onana, come get him within a specific frame or time frame. So that's why more or less he was more or less the second purchase. Look, all said and that, Amrabat is saying,
that's fine.
Watch him go.
See, let me take PTG's thoughts to wrap up Amrabat.
Coach has praised Amrabat, so I'm not going to go into his positives. I'll look at his slight worry I have about Amrabat, which is how he goes into tackles. You see, yes, Pate, but obviously Pate has a way of trying to be he's cool about it. Yeah. I think Pate doesn't go into enough tackles.
He doesn't even
as
he doesn't dive into tackles.
But Amrabat will go into as many as he can, and that's no. See, Court may be here praising him about the I think he's coming to a league where he will need to cool down a little in terms of the tackles and all that.
Actually, I think it would be better for him here because
this is where the physicality is more.
They don't call fouls as much in Italy.
I've seen a Casemiro who at Real Madrid was quite safe with red cards. He comes to Manchester United.
How many red cards did Casemiro get? The first one, he's went to he's held somebody.
To be fair, he only got one for tackling.
Only one for tackling. And that one, he got the ball before getting the player. The other one, we saw Jordan Ayew choking the Man United player. They didn't give him.
The point is this: Casemiro, even with all his tackles and all that, is very, very safe with what he does. At Manchester United, we see him suffering a couple of red cards. Amrabat goes into as much tackles as possible. He likes to go into it, and that's a huge worry for me.
He got 11 yellow cards last year.
And looking at that, that's where I think that they will need to be quite worried about, because there will be more yellow cards for him because of how he tackles and how he goes into it, and that's my little worry with what he's coming to
do for Man United. He can get more than the 11 he got last season.
He can 11 yellow cards. He can get more. He can get more because see, there are
even the one that is not card is this card. This man we've seen people.
Yeah. Let's talk about another deal. Nathan, you want to say something real quick?
I just wanted to give Man United props. For once, I'll give them props for getting an emergency left back. Because we've seen how slowly this team reacts to problems. But on that score, I'll give them some credit because quickly they had to go into the market and find somebody to fill in the spot, because Malacia is out, Luke Shaw is out. What's going on?
We are
monitoring sports.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, so Malacia is out. Luke Shaw is out for an extended period. Even though Man United don't want to say it, he's out for an extended period. They quickly had to go through and find somebody, and I give them plaudits. At least they found somebody who's familiar with the league.
Yeah.
Sergio Reguilon, all action left back. Let's wait to see. But at least I like the fact that United acted quickly to bring in somebody.
United have really cracked me up during this window. All kinds of phrases have been attributed to them. Today there's one that said, United are seriously considering a move for...
Why are you considering a move?
Where do these phrases come from? Like
they were laughing at Fabrizio that he's been using the thesaurus the whole summer.
Then they say,
you see,
Man United are aware of.
I have to be fair.
I have respect him a lot. He's the king of transfer. Because at the time where he was constantly, regularly saying United were talking to, there were top British journalists who were saying that was not true. And the man still will come back and say, we'll see who is telling the truth.
Yeah.
Charlie, I respect the guy.
Romano has done his thing. He's done his thing. Let's talk about another transfer that's happening. So the latest is that the announcement will be in about the next 15 minutes. Liverpool will be unveiling Grafenberg earlier. So he has just signed his contract as a new Liverpool player. Just so we get the name and the pronunciation properly. Ryan Grafenberg. Good. ERH is silent. That is according to Timothy Fosumes. I say the name is Grafenberg. Thank you. Thank you. Grafenberg. Box to box, 21-year-old Dutch midfielder barely saw daylight at Bayern Munich. They've made almost a 15 million euro profit on him, which is kind of crazy. Let me come to you on that. So first of all, what went wrong for him at Bayern? I mean, I thought he was talented enough. He was highly rated. He would get his minute. I didn't think he would be a starter, but I didn't think it would be this bad.
Yeah, he definitely didn't play. You thought he would kind of be a backup to Goretzka, get some minutes in there. It just didn't work.
So looking at the fact that Goretzka is injury prone.
Yeah, so you think he'd get some minutes, but I guess maybe I think Nagelsmann didn't like him. Tuchel also doesn't seem to like him. But
is that the red flag?
It's also about the system, because I think one of the pre-matches, Tuchel was like, they don't really play number 8 in their 4-2-3-1 system.
Yeah, I think he's more of a, you see, when you're an Ajax player, he's more of a 4-3-3 player, that kind of.
So once it switches to 4-2-3-1.
It's not for everybody. I mean, we saw that with the whole, when we talk about coach's friend Paul Pogba, that was one of the debates. I know coach would disagree, but but for me, I think this is very strange, and I think Liverpool have had a very bad window. I think they've had a very poor window. I think
should have bought a number 6.
This whole number 6.
Endo. But
still need a number 6.
If you go and buy Endo, with all due respect to Endo, if he's 5th or 6th on your list and you buy him, you yourself know there's a reason he was 5th or 6th on your list.
Yeah, I don't even think he was on the radar. I think it was a response to the.
Yeah. I think they've mismanaged this window.
Well, I tell you.
Why would you buy all these numbers? I know the midfielders have gone. You buy McAllister, you buy Soboslai, you buy Ryan
Grafenberg.
Yeah. Like, you buy all 3. That's great, but the position that you need someone that is going to play and control, like we've been talking about Amrabat, someone to come in and anchor the midfield.
But again, right?
You don't have anyone.
Coach did say
and you see McAllister there, he's doing okay. But that's not where he should be.
But that's why Endo is.
This is what I think. Good. I thought that Endo was a short-term fix, but we looked at his numbers, and you looked at, like you said, interceptions. He was.
I want to give a caveat to that. Stuttgart are not a good team. So they are always behind the ball. If you see very high interception and tackling numbers, often the player plays for a bad team. There's very rare exceptions like N'Golo Kante that they'll play for a top team.
And then
that's why Palhinha, if you look at his tackles compared to the other players in the league, he's miles ahead, because Fulham are not a top team. They are
always undercut.
Yeah, so for me, if you see high numbers and that kind of stuff, I would be looking at more like percentages.
Okay.
Because if you say, he has the most tackles in the league, it just tells me that his team is always defending. That's what I will see. And I'm not saying that he's bad at it or anything, but to move from a team that's not good to a team that's good, sometimes to the step up.
I agree with you, but in the Endo, is it Endo?
Yeah, Endo.
In the Endo situation, I think he's also a very good passer of the ball. For me, that is one of the main reasons why I've said that I don't think he's
a backup. You think they'll use him?
When you saw him,
they have to use him.
If you looked at him against Newcastle, until club decided that, look, we were losing the game, we're man down, we cannot afford to give Man City an extra advantage. Let's go and see what happened. Throw caution to the wind and he was so decent, because he protected that back four. his position, I think his biggest weapon is his positioning. He tends to put himself in front of the build-up of the team. So it's like, before you get to my backline, you need to go through me or you need to go past me. And if you have a midfielder who does that, he's always going to be a very good man. And his composure, when he takes the ball, he looks very calm. In that position, mostly, you should be picking the simple passes. And then when the need arises, then you go long. And that was exactly what he was.
And coach has made a good point about that. And another thing I like, he doesn't get injured. He's one of those players.
Very durable. That was what I was worried about, because for a 30-year-old,
he doesn't get injured. But you see, I think he missed the games he missed last season. I think one was concussion, one was COVID, and one was a red card, something like that. You know, like
I believe.
You know, so but for me, the reason why it's not that Endo is not a good player. I think he might even surprise us.
He has to tell us who has been eating Adjei. The other day too, he said some player who was eating Kontomre. Watch it. Who? You tell us who?
Watch it. Can't wait fire me. You can't wait. Watch it.
Okay, where is the where? Yeah, hold on, relax. That player, where is he?
I can't believe you are doing this.
No, but you see,
He's always blaming players for eating something bad.
Okay, he's in Europe. He's in Europe.
He's in England.
I'm not part of this. Let's make progress.
I was saying that I think Endo is a good player. I think he'll do fine. But the fact that he, like we said, he probably was not high on Liverpool's list is why I'm even worried for him. Because I feel like now there's a lot of expectations on him. Because you are thinking, Caicedo is coming, Lavia is coming, then Endo comes. So the fans already are looking at you some way. I think you do fine. But the point is, you don't want someone who's come to do fine. You want someone who excel, especially if you want to. Look at what Rodri is doing for Man City. That's who you are competing against. So you want someone who, if they are doing 8 out of 10 on Rodri, you know that at least we have some other players somewhere.
In that role, how well you also perform.
It's dependent on the team. No, I don't disagree.
So I think if this Liverpool team can...
McAllister is definitely a sure option in that midfield. Szoboszlai has been played in a variety of roles.
I think if they play their 4-3-3, you have McAllister and Szoboszlai. That's a very good midfield. But okay, for me, they
played together only once.
But my whole thing about the Endo thing is not even about... I just feel like Liverpool mishandled it because knowing it's a key position. Again, like I said,
they should have gotten.
The moment Fabinho left, exactly. You knew Fabinho was going. You got that thing. You knew Henderson was.
They got good money for Fabinho.
You got good money. So
and for me, I think that with how they dealt with the Lavia case, I think they could have gotten Lavia.
I think he felt he was.
Because of how they went into the Caicedo move.
Lavia were getting closer and closer.
Liverpool. Blackboard.
Then he moved and go and chase Caicedo, and then he spoiled it.
They were haggling over 5 million. To pay 50 million for him.
And here you are going to 150.
And they had given him assurances that they were going to pay that much.
So what do we think? Like, Gravenberch was sick?
I think Gravenberch is a good signing.
Look, he is a good signing, but where does he fit?
Let me just
go
through this for you quickly. So at Ajax, there were times where he featured in the midfield that I believe had, I think there was David Klaassen in there. There would be Gravenberch, and then there would be Alvarez. So mostly Alvarez would be the pivot guy. When Alvarez goes off and they switch up, then he can go into the 6th row. But what are his strengths? I think that naturally he's a box-to-box number 8. More like
left-sided.
More like a Yaya Toure type of guy. He's not Yaya Toure. I've not said that. I said he's like a Yaya Toure type of guy. Built in the same mode. 6'3", 21-year-old, very tall, athletic guy. He can do everything really. He can pass a little. He can shoot. He can dribble out of spaces. He can intercept. His tackling is not his strongest attribute.
He hardly goes into tackles.
His tackling is like a 6/10. Yeah. I mean, at 21, you'd think that he still has more room to grow, and he's very coachable. And so I think he'll get more time than he did at Bayern. There's a lot more football to go around. He can play even as a false nine. I've seen him be used as a false nine. He can play as an attacking midfielder. So there's a lot of things Liverpool can do with him. I just hope that it will not be like the Kai Havertz situation. Klopp barely ever does that with players, where he brings in a player and he doesn't seem to know where that player functions. That's what's happening with Arteta and Kai Havertz now. That's a conversation. But I like Ryan Gravenberch generally. Just for the fact that he has such a high ceiling for me. He was rotting away at Bayern.
Exactly.
And Liverpool didn't have to pay over the top for him.
I think he was
I'd say
so,
Bayern,
so much in the rush to go to Bayern. At the time when he left Ajax, I think he should have.
At that time, Liverpool wanted him.
Yeah, Liverpool. Even
United wanted him. I thought Gravenberch was always going to go to United. Yep.
It's because of the Raula, Man United.
In fact, this deal was brokered by the Raula agency. And so, good signing for Liverpool. I just hope, I just hope that Liverpool have not expressed interest in any defender, which I find shocking. And they've let Nat Phillips leave on loan to Celtic, which is very weird. So I'm just hoping that Liverpool have a surprise defender in the works before the window closes, or else...
They're almost close, you know.
No, the last minute deals will be done. So Gravenberch, I definitely don't commit this to Liverpool. Let's talk about another player. I think Bournemouth are doing some crazy stuff in the window. Luis Sinisterra is on the verge of completing a move to AFC Bournemouth. Let me start to you, Nathan, on this one.
That's like the second Leeds player.
I love Luis Sinisterra.
It's a good pickup.
He's a good pickup. I mean, we saw what he did with Leeds. Bournemouth need quality. You can tell that they require the quality to stay up. I wonder how many goals they will score. But if we've seen them play under Iraola, the intensity is there, and Luis Sinisterra is a player who will give them, something good, So it's interesting seeing what they are trying to do. Tyler Adams and others have come in, but if you've watched them play, you can tell that they want to have this intensity about them, and so I kind of understand why they would want to make a move for it.
It's a loan deal, actually, and it's crazy for me because they don't want Wilfred Nyonto to go, but they are letting Sinisterra go.
Yeah, but
I believe they probably see Nyonto as the bigger asset in the future. They feel like
19 years.
I feel like eventually they feel like they can get more for him. I think that's part of it.
Interesting move there. So looks like Sinisterra will be heading to AFC Bournemouth. There's another player they're bringing in. I will bring you in on that in a bit. It just slipped me slightly. But let's talk about Patson Daka. They are scheduling a move for Patson Daka again from Leicester City.
Yeah, to Bournemouth?
To Bournemouth, yes. AFC Bournemouth.
I think they've got issues with their striking department.
Yeah, that's true.
Dominic Solanke.
They don't have goals.
Dominic Solanke.
Solanke actually...
Solanke is a busy striker.
He had to... I believe the way they were playing, he had to do a lot of running the channels, laying off and those things. So... And he was getting one chance, and he wasn't scoring the one chance. And I think sometimes we're a bit harsh on strikers who play for some of these teams.
Yeah.
Because Haaland is going to get 3-4 chances. True. If he scores one a game, we'll clap for him. But Solanke will get one chance a game. When he scores one in those 4 chances, over 4 games, you see. Yeah. So I think sometimes we're a bit harsh.
I agree with Susu, but if you look at that Bournemouth thing, generally, there's nobody to compete with him.
Yeah,
they had Kiefer Moore. That guy is
there's nobody to compete. So it's like he's the number 1 player on the team sheet, and for that department, you cannot rely on one player. There should be times where he needs to be refreshing. He needs to give way, take some breather, and then come back a bit more energized to come and continue with his good work. So it's a move I don't. But even the Dhaka boys of when he was playing for Leicester, he wasn't scoring that much. Okay, he didn't score too many goals. Because at the end of the day, Leicester were battling relegation. There were times where they were overly reliant on Kelechi and he would come occasionally, he would chip in one there. But at this level, you need your strikers to be showing some form of consistency in putting the ball in the back of the net. And that is where I think, if I had my way, I would have looked at another option, because he's going to be looking very similar to Solanke himself. In terms
Isn't Daka left-footed?
No, he's right-footed.
See him score some goals with his left.
Yes, as well.
Daka.
So, last season he scored some delicious goal with his left foot. But that is 1
in a million.
In a million. Okay, so yes, at the technical team, they have realized that it is an area they need to strengthen. They need a bit more depth, a bit more competition in that area to bring the best of the guys in and around there. But at the end of the day, I think the choice of Daka should have been given to somebody else. It is not a move I would personally don't go, because of looking at what Bournemouth as a team,
they need someone clinical.
And I don't think Daka is the person.
Yeah, I would agree. they don't look like they have goals in them. They need to find ways of scoring. Maybe they are trying to bring in different weapons to see if they can mix those weapons to give them goals. But very interesting move. It looks like I will look at it from a Leicester perspective. These days, we're always going to show up when players or teams will show up and pick your best players because they are playing in the Championship. They don't even want to be there in the first place. And I think for Leicester, they would look at it and say, okay, we just brought in Abdul Fattah Issahaku. So why not? Maybe.
We'll talk about that in detail.
Kind of opens the door a bit for Patson Daka. But Daka has got potential. He's got huge potential. I hope Bournemouth can get something out of the attacking framework they have.
The one thing I'll say about Daka is he has the ideal structure. He's tall, he's fast,
I like him.
He's strong. So he can, if he adds a bit more clinicality to his finishing, he'll be a very good pickup. But that's the thing. If you're a striker, that's the hardest thing to do. Because look at Alvaro Morata. He's the same in that mode. He's tall, he's strong, he's fast, he can hit the ball. But he still has the finishing has. Morata is 31 right now. The finishing has never come. So
we are still waiting.
So it's a risk. But I understand why if you are born with, that's what you have to do. You have to take risks on players sometimes because you have to go for the one that no one else will see to get the reward. Because if you are because you can't compete with for the big boys for certain players.
And I'm sure when they look at the market, they were looking for someone with experience. And once Daka has played in the English Premier League before, it was just prudent that they go for such
honestly,
a striker.
He instantly becomes the best attacker they have. I've seen Patson Daka play. I've seen Dominic Solanke play. Solanke is not Daka's level.
But I feel like you guys are underrating Solanke personally. I think you guys are really
hard.
I agree. And see, George Boateng's made the same argument in defense of Jordan Ayew. He always says that we're harsh in judging Jordan because at Crystal Palace, you get at most 2 great chances in a game. You need to score one of the 2.
Jordan came a blaster. Chance.
Hold on. So I understand the point to chance creation, but again, like I'm saying, I've seen Daka play peripheral minutes for Leicester.
Exactly.
And I've seen what he's done with his peripheral minutes as compared. I've been watching Solanke, and I think Liverpool actually swindled AFC Bournemouth for Solanke. They took too much money from them. I'm telling you, way too much money. He was coming off a lot of hype.
I think in general, English players are overpriced relative to their continental counterparts.
And again, Solanke was coming off a very good England junior team. I think they just won one of their tournaments or something like that.
And as I said, we have been a bit unfair to Solanke because when he went to the championship, he scored 28 goals for them and brought them back. That's the same 28 level. No, and that's the same 28 goals Oli Watkins scored before Aston Villa bought him when he was at Brentford.
So Watkins came to the Premiership and he scored.
But you see, Watkins went to a better team than because Solanke came up with the.
So what you are saying is true. Solanke then
look, he can get a chance. He will work hard. Finish and go.
I think Solanke's best attribute is working hard, and I've always said it that as a footballer, if your best attribute is working hard,
and
there's a problem.
Yeah, that one too. But that's why every coach is selecting too.
There's that. So let's see.
Since we're talking about Leicester, just an update. Boubacar Soumare, he's gone to Sevilla on loan.
Hey, Charlie, everybody's leaving Leicester.
Yes.
So a lot of they have because Leicester have a squad that should not be in the championship. So a lot of the players want to go.
And a lot of wages as well.
Yes. So their manager Enzo Maresca, he's trimming the squad because of the wage demands. They don't have money to keep all these players.
Actually, so and they need to make more space for I saw one of their games this season, and you could see the quality because their players are just a cut above in certain situations. Like you can see when they're in the championship, it's like something just the quality just comes.
But for me,
but they have to. See, if they're letting go of all their good players, then it's going to be difficult for them because this championship season promotion is not gained at the very beginning.
Exactly, it's a very long season.
Let's talk about.
On a good note for Ghana football, it's good for Isahaku. More departures means that he gets.
If we are at the doorsteps of Leicester, let's discuss that move, guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little worried about the trajectory he's taken so far. Really? First of all, he was not supposed to go to Sport. That was because there was some mishap or something that was not handled properly in his transfer process. He was heading to Bayer Leverkusen, and then that deal fell through. And then he ended up doubling back and going to Sporting. Now, Sporting is a team that prides itself on developing young players. They might not give a lot of young players a chance. You need to be really special for Sporting to hand you opportunities. For instance, they have a young centre-back called Diomande. They brought him from Cote d'Ivoire. They didn't give him an adaptation period. He walked straight into their lineup, and he's doing really well now. Didn't happen for Isahaku. He played less than 5 games.
Mostly Sporting B.
Yep, played less than 5 games for Sporting. Now, coach, he's going to Leicester. Let me start with coach. I'll come around.
I think the not too well progress of the young man has to do with the young man himself.
Look, talk to me about that.
I have watched him play. Somebody who thinks he can score from the center line at the least opportunity.
When it works, they say wow.
No, it will work 1
out of 10 attempts.
1 million attempt.
Oh, exactly. But we say wow when it happens.
We say wow.
Man.
But at the end of the day, I think the boy himself is refusing to be coached. Because I cannot imagine.
No, the shooting has to stop.
It has to stop. When you watch him play, it's like he's still doing the things he used to do.
Do you remember
3 years ago?
Bruno used to do that when he first came to United, and he stopped. And I would say he's a better player for it.
Exactly. So people in and around him will need to tell him that, look, yes, you've got. He believes in the power
of his shot.
So
he thinks that's his strongest asset.
But I think technically he needs to develop a bit more. Be a bit patient. Play a bit more.
And pick your moments when to shoot.
Let's talk about developing, right? What is his favorite position to play in terms of all the positions in which he's been used? Where will he impact the game positively the most?
I think, like I've seen him play, I think if he plays on the right and cut onto his
as a natural winger,
like the inverted wingers, like the Anthony, the Saka.
Does he have enough pace and dribbling ability to do that?
Normally, those players, inverted wingers, they don't go to the bar line.
Okay.
They tend to come. So if they've got a very good fullback creating the work for them, he cuts. He can go to the fullback and then cut back to him.
Coach, can I ask you a question about that? I feel like because of his shooting is why we are saying he should play there. But let's say he doesn't have that shooting. Does he have the passing? Does he have the dribbling? That
is my problem with him. He doesn't pass the ball.
He needs to work on that.
I actually want, like, for me, when I watch him play, I can see his shooting is good.
Yeah,
but what other skills does he have that can actually impact the game? And for me, that's the biggest problem, because if your only thing is shooting, you need to be in a good position for the shot to be good. And this is a problem I have with Anthony. I feel like Anthony is actually very good at shooting. I think that it's an underrated skill he has. But because he doesn't beat his man as often, you don't see him get into a position
where he can utilize
it. He can use it as well. And I think but Anthony is ahead of Isaku by far.
Yeah.
And even Anthony, we are complaining about him. So I'm trying to.
So I think that's what I'm saying. That it has to do with the coaching. I'm not sure the boy himself.
He's allowing himself to be coached.
Yeah. He needs to let go of certain things he does on the pitch.
Because look, if you go to a team like Sporting Lisbon, the track record is there.
Yeah. Luis Figo, Costa, Ricardo Quaresma, Luis Nani.
They've all gone through.
Too many.
Look at the wingers they produce. They know how to make wingers.
Exactly. So
Marcus Edwards left England and went to Portugal and is doing great things.
So if after being under such a system, you come back after a year or two, and we don't see any improvement, then look, I think he's gone to a very difficult league, very, very difficult league, and I hope he learns. If I get a chance to talk to him, I will say, look, because of the power in your leg, can you just tell yourself, I will never strike the ball when I am not within such an area. You see, there are times where demarcations are given to players. When you are here, this is the way we are going to play. When you are here, this is the way you are going to play. And you need to stick to that. You need to respect that. You need to go according, because that more or less get your teammates in sync with whatever you are going to do. So if you've been told, because it is not something that the coach will tell you alone. He will tell you to the awareness of your teammate that because of the power in his leg, when the ball is around this area, try and locate him.
And he has the license to shoot.
Exactly. So he needs to be told all those. He needs to learn from that. He's gone to a very physical league, a league that will invite a lot more tackles onto his legs. He can only play it simple and wait for his moment. For me, if he can do that, the potential of being a better player, I don't think is gone yet. I still believe
still in his good formative
there's a player
years.
in there, but he needs to allow himself to be.
I think the technique he has in shooting alone shows me that if he learns to spot a pass, learns to cross, he can be someone who can. You know, there are some wingers, they are not very good at dribbling, but they can whip across. They can kind of thread a pass. You have that technique also, already. So focus on those things as well.
There's this other thing. If only he can, with time, because we are saying inverted, cut onto your left foot. There are times where I think in the Olympic qualifiers in the African version, there were times where Ibrahim Tanko tried using him as a number 10. I think he should also begin to learn the trade of being a number 10.
I was just about to go in there. Let me let Pichichi and Nathan have their take.
For me,
then okay.
Well, listening to him, I think, one, he was happy with the move. I think he used the word "I'm happy" more than 7 or 8 times in his interview and all that.
Hope, and it wasn't because he realized that he was never going to break through.
Exactly. And he spoke about the fact that he had spoken to Maresca, and Maresca had promised him that it was a platform for him to grow, and he believes that at this stage it's more of growing. And I think one area of his game where we all agree he needs to work on is playing with his teammates. I've watched Zaku play, and it's like he's playing for himself and not for the team. Anytime he's on the pitch, it's about star boy. He has to do something magical.
How to score a wonder goal.
Yeah, he has to do something magical. He has to be but now I'm sure that he understands that, see, it goes beyond just being the star boy of the team. You need to find a way to play with your teammates. Passing wise, position on the pitch, he needs to work on those things. For his shooting, I don't think he will let go of the shooting now. But I think they have to work on a certain aspect of his game. Play with his teammates, knowing when to give a pass,
get into better positions and use
when
the shooting
to
better.
move and all that. And I'm sure that with the championship, yes, it's a very difficult place to do that. But he has that belief that he can develop at this level. And I'm sure the ultimate target will be to impress in England and then stay in England. That will be his ultimate aim, to try and slowly get into the English Premier League. And this is a huge chance for him. I'm sure his team will be telling him, this is the moment for you now. You are just a step below the Premier League now. Go there, develop well, do what the coaches want you to do, play for your teammates, and then you can get there. And when you develop very well, you can get the top teams in England just coming for you. Because in the championship, people will be on you. There will be eyeballs on you.
Especially teams that get promoted.
There will be eyeballs on you.
They're always looking for
this is the
players
moment
like
for you. You're already in England, so just do what you are good at. Shed off some of the bad aspects of your game.
I have to stop it. Star boy Kudus has just come.
He just made his debut.
He's only playing in
Star boy.
Love it.
You know, he just went to do some nice donation at Nima.
Yeah.
So yeah, it shows you Kudus
All
and what he
good,
does.
all good.
So for Fatawu Ishaku, I think it's a tricky move for me. For me, it's a tricky move.
Yeah.
If he's willing to learn, he should learn. I doubt he'll be a regular for Leicester City. I think that they're going to use him as and when they need him on the pitch for 1 or 2 areas of the game. But it's a chance for him to just make things work for him. I think he has the ability. It's just a matter of his mentality. Yeah, look at where he started from. The North.
Steadfast.
He was the face of the team there in the Division 1. He was the face of the team.
Even at
Dreams FC, he was the face of the team. There were solo goals
in 7 games.
Most of his goals were solo goals. He takes the ball on the left hand side, dribbles 1, 2, 3, creates the chance himself and finishes the chance. And I think it has spread into his mind that he's the Messi. He can try to be like Messi always. He needs to let go of that aspect of his game and grow, and he'll be there.
No, I think the guys have said everything. I just want to touch quickly on another Ghanaian player in the championship, Kamal Dean. I was reading reports.
Yep, he's trying to get out. So he has a £30 million release clause. He's trying to get out. Olympic Marseille wanted to get him on loan. Ren wanted him on loan as well.
The thing we say.
So it's not there's him Renda sold him.
They want to get him back. You see what we say about decision.
And even Everton.
See what we say about decisions. Yep. Kamal Dean had the option of going to
You kept saying Kamal Dean should go to RB
Leipzig. Because go to Leipzig.
The Southampton.
Charlie.
Yeah, he's in a quagmire right now.
Those people who advised him to go to, they have to find a way of getting him out of that place.
I don't think his physicality is up for the
championship. They are not doing too well.
Yeah, in the championship, you will get away with tackles you won't get away with in the Premier League.
Exactly.
So that's dangerous for him.
I honestly think that
he stayed there.
I have not been impressed by his performances. So part of it, so if you go down that level and you play and you stand out, You can get, look at, there's so many players right now. Jared Bowen. He was our hub.
Nathan, this is David Ornstein.
Yeah, I've seen it. David Ornstein.
Man United. He's also said that Amrabat has signed the contract. He will be announced.
For your information, we have unveiled Ryan Graffenberg.
Graffenberg.
Why have you not unveiled Amrabat?
Amrabat, 6 minutes ago, David Ornstein.
He will be unveiled.
Amrabat has signed for Manchester United.
Joao Cancelo, done and dusted for mighty Barcelona.
You know the most interesting thing today?
What's that?
Joao Felix, who is misbehaving.
I'm just about to come to that.
Has extended his contract.
What's going on?
So Joao.
So the loan has fallen through?
No.
So
he's still going on loan. But before signing the paper, he extended by another 2 years.
But that's prison.
I don't understand. You want to leave by extending. But
No, you see?
Maybe that was the agreement.
I think that was the condition.
Yeah, the condition.
Or else, Diego Simeone is going to make sure you rot on the bench. Because you see,
but I think also so he doesn't lose value.
Of course, the boy too should be smart enough. They paid lots of money for him.
Yeah.
100 million.
You see, if you read the reports in Spain, this is it. Now, Joao Felix's relationship with Atletico is dead. That relationship died a long time
when he decided to go on loan to Chelsea.
Very good. So they have this player with heavy wages, heavy salary, heavy transfer fee on their books. They can't move him on because obviously they want to recoup part of their investment. So they are really saddled with Joao Felix, who is a big financial burden. He's burning a big hole in terms of their accounts. That's why they are trying this loan thing, and he has extended, hoping that, he's been there for a while, hoping that if somebody shows up with a good amount of money, they can value the rest of the contract and move him on. But like I said, they signed him for a hefty amount of money. So it's a bit of
and he hasn't delivered for them at all.
Let me just.
The truth of the matter is that whenever Joao Felix has played well, it is when Diego Simeone has decided, you know what, Charlie, this route one is not working. Let's style things up. So the moment the system changes, Joao Felix plays well, but he can't function.
I think this is how I feel. Again, I will reiterate something I had. I think the idea of Joao Felix is better than the reality.
Because he came to Chelsea, I didn't see anything.
I am telling you, the idea of Joao Felix, the great player,
actually, let me be fair,
is better than the reality of
no
him.
one played well at Chelsea last season. Let me be fair.
I think Joao Felix's decline started before he came to Chelsea.
No, hold on. Under Diego Simeone, most of the attacking players.
I saw him at Portugal. I saw him up.
But you see, it's because he doesn't work hard.
Most of the attacking players.
It's not that we don't see Griezmann. Don't we see Griezmann playing well? It's about working hard. The guy doesn't want to work hard, which is fine. Some coaches don't mind you.
Let me just say this. Let me say this. Look, when Joao Felix was making the jump from Benfica to Atletico, he was held in the same mold as an Erling Haaland, as a Kylian Mbappe.
Remember, it was Haaland, Mbappe,
and Joao Felix.
We thought
that was the holy grail. Now, go up a few years or roll the clock a few years. Erling Haaland has smashed the Premier League goal scoring record. He's won a treble in his debut season. Look at a guy like Kylian Mbappe. He's literally the best player in the world now.
He was penalty kicks away from being a double World Cup winner.
Yep, he's literally the best player in the world now.
Sure.
He's taken France to back-to-back World Cup finals. Joao Felix, excuses will start. And like my bosses here at Citi FM like to say, you can either get the job done or you can find an excuse. Sure. Joao Felix can blame Diego Simeone for his woes as a player. Fair enough. Bad system. Bad that. We saw Joao Felix come to Chelsea. Chelsea was not a good team last season. At times he looked like he showed glimpses of the player we had heard about. But I don't think he's ever, I don't think he's ever been consistent enough to even go close to those two in a serious discussion. He's never been, and I've come to live with it. That Joao Felix is not going to be a 15. He's not even going to be a 15 season ago player.
For me,
he's not even going to be a 15 assist.
It's unfortunate. He came to Chelsea at the time when the team was just terrible.
Was very bad.
But before that, Simeone 2 seasons ago was playing with the haram ball.
He's always been playing
most of the attackers in his team will have to chase and chase. And
we see other attackers in that team that even though their numbers, there's a contribution when they get the ball. They are making Angel Correa.
You spoke about Morata.
Even Morata, the chances come.
And
even Memphis is performing now.
Now things are better.
You see,
now things are better.
I think
I don't think it's attitude.
That boy is still a good player.
At Barcelona, you see a different
That
player.
boy is still a good player. I think unfortunate for him, he went to the wrong manager. That's it. Star. And he came to Chelsea at the time where
the team was not
the least said about him, the better.
Not the team at that moment. Chelsea was not the team there.
If this is his chance, you see, Barcelona would not go in for this boy. The reason why Man United, all the teams are not because of the price tag that Atletico is putting on him. Believe you me, if Joao Felix were within the range of 40, 50, 60 million, somebody would have bought him.
Plenty teams.
Yeah. So I believe there's a player. How old is he? 22?
Oh, he's still young.
He's still very young. I won't say. I think he's got a lot to offer this Barcelona team.
I want to
super
say,
lot.
I want to say that I think his attitude isn't great, and I agree that the coach is wrong. But there's other players who I don't think any player attacker there enjoys what Atletico are doing.
Does, of course.
None of them, but they are putting in the hard yards. They are putting in the effort because they know it's a team game. We are playing to win. If this is how we win,
his problem is Diego Simeone allows them to be too defensive,
and
he's not able to express himself. And he's that type of player. I think he should be.
He likes to move, but be the face of the team.
That's my whole thing. There's other players like that who also want to be stars and do their thing. And you think Griezmann works hard?
But Griezmann have the technicality of.
Griezmann is a fantastic. But you see,
maybe not to Felix's level.
Not to Felix's level.
But you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of very good players. Like Angel Correa, he's a very good player.
Technically as well.
Angel Correa is direct.
Hold on. So let's talk about fit. Where does he fit into the Barcelona equation?
He'll probably play off the left and once in a while through the middle, maybe when they are resting around.
We've cleared a space for him. Ansu Fati has been sent to.
I'm coming
Brighton.
to that deal in a bit.
So once there's a clear space for him on the left-hand side, it's now a straight attack of Joao Felix on the left-hand side, Lewandowski on the right, and then maybe Rafinha / Jamal Yamin. So it's
Barca are hanging their hopes on a 16-year-old.
I think Barca should be very careful with the
Jamal. Let me read a few messages.
Because he's young, you don't want to get him.
They've already invited him to the national team.
Because if he gets hurt at this age, it could.
Kofi Johnson from Manso says that today's prayer, dear, out of this world, Numo Bagbiwo. This one here is from Seth Antobam, aka breastfeeding. Says, I would never support the Black Stars in my life. Picasso, doing the listening from a man from, says, I'm a first-time texter and I'm enjoying the show. Lambert from Dodowa says, please, I have a question for Nathan and Coach. Harry Kane is the captain and face of the England national team. He was available, but United didn't make a move for him. May I know why, please? I can't imagine Kane in front of Bruno Fernandes in the same team.
Well,
it's a simple answer.
Daniel
Levy would not sell to.
Levy was never going to sell to a fellow Premier League side.
Okay.
Because he was Eric Ten Hag's number
even
one
though some people theorize that
if they had pushed
had
enough,
Man United dropped 150 million on the table,
they would have had a conversation.
Would have thought about
150 too much.
Let me.
And then the second reason was that the math. Some people like United felt that the math didn't make sense. Kane is 30.
Yeah.
Why splash 100 million pounds on a 30-year-old? The value depreciates over time. Even though the general consensus
is that he'll give you 3-4
among the people
at
United, they knew that this guy was a good player, but they felt that the mathematics didn't add
He
up.
should have left Spurs 2-3 seasons.
Fair enough. Let me read more messages. Baba Gariba from London says, this is the best 90 minutes of my week. Best weekend show on earth. This one is from Nketsia from Kaswa. Says, hi, Ben. I think Man City's owners are behind this Saudi interest in Liverpool places. Man City is currently the best team in the world, but the Saudi owners only want Liverpool players. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, but Charlie, they are literally raiding Liverpool.
I know their transfer season ends next Thursday.
Imagine.
So
it means that teams are in trouble. You see, this is the thing where people can buy your players and you can't buy replacements. It's about to get a little
Salah's in trouble.
And I think it's something FIFA will have.
Mourinho has been complaining about this for the longest time. Let me read more. This one here says Fridays without Panorama. It's like, hey, Charlie. Miss Rao.
This is a serious.
I beg you. You said, I beg you. He said Panorama. He said Friday without sports Panorama. It's like Cecilia Dapa without her housemates. Actually. Charlie, what's the meaning of this? With the inclusion of Amrabat in our squad, United is winning the EPL and the Champions League this
year.
I beg you. They say he says his team is winning. What's your problem?
Animal messages.
He says, mark my words. I am cowbell repping from Ejumako, the town of delicious Ampesi. This man. Liverpool or Lipu Mama says, good evening, my sports Panorama crew. Let me personally applaud Klopp for a massive showdown at Newcastle. Liverpool Mama.
Now you're applauding Klopp.
He's still at post.
Yeah, Klopp is at post. Richie from Ashima says, hi, fellow Panoramians. He said, when I saw the notification from Fabrizio, I said, Coach Nimley can now sleep because they have gotten their man. Sophia the first. Thank you very much, Sophia. This one says, glad Felix and Cancelo have joined the best club in the world. We are back. United fans are too noisy. They should relax. Amrabat could be a flop. This one is from
Felix, they flop. Is not a flop.
Warden from Tabora says, please tell coach that we will be there for them in the UCL. Osman from Tema Bethlehem says, you are live and loud here. Keep the fire burning. You never walk alone. Nana from Kwashiman says, the taste of jollof changed when I realized Amrabat and Onana could be absent due to the AFCON. Can't United give me a break? This team is taunting me. Well, sometimes you need to sacrifice some of these things. Koba GH says that, good evening, guys. I'm really happy United is doing well on the market. This one here says, I'm happy to hear from you guys. Nistel from Abokobi. Tell coach that Amrabat walk a leg benomo. Someone from OEB says, Ben, I want to ask a question. What official process does one need to go through to become a referee in Ghana? This one there, you have to head to the GFA headquarters. They will catch you young. Very soon you will be part of the refereeing community. This one here,
I think they'll have to.
You'll take you through a few drills.
Yeah,
First of all, you must be physically fit.
Not the FA per se.
The refereeing association, yes.
Sheikh St. Pablo Altani from Chado says, then at the hearsay United, they go sign Kukuracha. And thank God say it no happen. Hey, finally, the midfield remote control come. Shout out to Sheikh Ni Abba Altani. Daddy is coming. They give you assurance. They say Daddy is coming. Alvinio from Akosovo says, Ben, even though concerned enemies of Chelsea are talking, we must admit Todd has done a good job to reduce the wage bill and sold underperforming players. The only Champions League winners from London. I like that. Someone from OEB says, good evening, Ben and team. I'm loving the program. Has the Grafenberg transfer to Liverpool been Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
I am proud to say
go to the Liverpool
Chief Grafenberg, Chef Grafenberg, Ni Paco Grafenberg.
Look, Charlie, the picture that they are using is not nice.
We like our team. Is it your picture?
No, your picture.
Thank you. Leave you to go and chop your Amrabat matter in your team. We like our own. Scott Elvis from Inside Nungwa says, personally, I believe Amrabat is by far the best summer addition. And as for the Glazers, they are like a womanizer giving his wife a peripheral. Hey, Radde. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Huh?
It's okay. The things you want to say, it's okay. Let me just remove it. That's what people want to do on the show. Real Madrid have been doing things at the Sibelius fountain this year. So I don't really think there's something wrong with the cleansing exercise House of Folk is doing. It's tradition. Football is tribal. In Swomunam, showdown inside Lakeside. Charlie, behave yourself there, my brother. DJ Far from Botre says, coach should cool down on this player. Time will tell. We have seen this energy before. We will be waiting for the showdown. Bright, Salipo are using the word showdown too much. People should need to be very careful. Bright from Apollonia says, good evening, Ben and crew. Please use your Don't Go Me jingle to tell Liverpool to accept the offer Al Ittihad have put on the table for Salah. Forwards like Nunez, Diaz, Jota, and the likes are available to do the job. Greetings to my boss, Jones Ronnie Dejo. I definitely will have us talk about that deal in a bit. Brian from Ashoman Estate says, Amrabat is not a good signing for United. Time will tell. Hey, Charlie, Brian, you sound like a Chelsea fan or a het rival fan. Yeah. Supremo texting from Abokobi says, thanks to Liverpool for bringing another baller. Klopp must stay. Hashtag, you say. Joshua from Koforidia Says, I know I was starting to believe in Ten Hag to restore United until he signed Mount. Tell coach that we, Bayern Munich and Chef Nabry and the new Superman Kane are waiting to cook. My in-law from Adjei-Mintah says, I wonder why the Glazers, aka Konongo Kaya, will always wait until last minute before they see the need to press panic buttons. They always put the manager in a tight corner and expect good results. The Glazers are a replica of Ali Bongo of Man United. I can't believe how we arrived at that juncture. Guys, let's talk about some very interesting deals that are yet to happen. Let me start off from Callum Hudson-Odoi. £5 million to Nottingham Forest. I am flabbergasted, shocked, amazed. I'm not sure. They wanted to pay 70 million for him
about 3 seasons ago.
Coach, I don't know. You situate me in this context. Look,
yeah.
What has happened to Hudson-Odoi? Is it that he didn't turn out to be as good as he was projected to be? Have injuries hampered him? Has it been a lack of game time? Why the sudden drop in the class, no disrespect to Forest, the class of teams looking for him?
I think it has to, first of all, go down to the boy himself. Another player very similar to that of Fatai Isayaku, a player who has refused to grow. And you see, when you are a young player coming up, and the moment you begin to hit, the next moment you are playing as a right back, the next moment you are playing as a left winger, the next moment you are playing as a left wing back.
So yes, the deal has been announced by Forest.
That he's gone there.
Yeah, complete.
I think this is his last chance. Truth be told.
He's still young.
Yeah, I'm saying when I say is his last chance of playing the AP.
And I agree with Coach. Look, not to even cut
last chance.
Look, do you remember Josh McEachran?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Do you know where Josh McEachran is right now?
Not that I won't know.
Do you remember a guy called Aiden Magidi?
Yeah, Aiden Magidi.
Hey! Do you know how Aiden Magidi at one point was the toast of Sir Alex Ferguson?
Yes.
Do you know what happened to Aiden Magidi?
He went to CSKA Moscow. He didn't.
After that, Celtic
to CSKA. It was Celtic to CSKA. Aiden Magidi. Yeah. The way he terrorized Man United fullbacks.
So don't say he is young. Do you know Nani?
I remember Nani.
Do you remember Bebe?
Yes, Bebe.
Let me go there.
I know the Tiwako story.
Nani, as a player, I think was a success.
I think he was brilliant.
It was lastly.
So, you see, Hudson-Odoi will have to do better. He needs to allow himself. Because when you look at him at times on the pitch, he thinks he's the prima donna. He's the one who should be allowed to do things.
Star boy.
Yeah. You don't play football like that if you're a young child.
I remember he was brought on once in the game where he had been given tactical instructions, came to do the contrary thing, and he was yanked less than 5 minutes after.
Come and sit down. At the end of the day, it's about playing for the team at that age. You need to be a Leo Messi, to where the players themselves trust that you are the main man. So even at that tender age, they knew deep down that when the ball is given to you, you can do the things that no other person or no other player can do on the pitch. So in the case of Hudson-Odoi, he should see this.
I mean, this is his last serious. I agree with you. I think if Hudson doesn't take this chance, he'll probably find himself in the championship.
My only worry is that he will go to this Forest team and think that
he's the star there.
He's better than all of them there.
Because he has played for Chelsea.
When he picks up the ball,
he has played for Chelsea and Leverkusen.
There you go. When he picks up the ball, instead of playing this, doing it simple and waiting for playing for the team and then being at the end of the move, he wants to initiate the move, go through the move, and go and finish the move all by himself. And when you begin to do that and it is not working, you don't only lose the trust of your teammate, you lose the trust of the technical team. And that could mean absolute doom for you.
And for Nottingham Forest, there's no time
at all.
They are already fighting you're already fighting the drop. So I feel that Callum Hudson-Odoi has to come in and be prepared to work hard, because in this Nottingham Forest team, you work hard. Everybody works hard.
I think they've sold one of their
Brennan Johnson.
I'm about to come to that deal.
So now players like my very good friend Neil Anthony Elanga, and others. So these are the opportunities they were waiting for Brendan Johnson and Co to leave. So players like Callum Hudson-Odoi, they need to take that opportunity. And if anybody is close to him listening, please tell him that there's still a spot in the Black Stars because the England setup there, Charlie. Sorry.
and look at his stats also not the best. Even when he went on loan to Bayer Leverkusen, 14 league matches, no goal scored. And here you are as a winger, you know.
Hey, hold on. 14 league matches, no goal scored. Oh, Charlie.
You see,
meanwhile, Jeremy
Frimpong was scoring for right back.
Scoring goals and giving more assists.
Playing at right back. Charlie.
Yet he sees himself as a star boy.
And this one, Black Stars, I think Black Stars should focus on Jeremy Frimpong because clearly Ronald Koeman is not giving the guy the chance.
He went to the World Cup and didn't play.
He's announced the Dutch national team for the upcoming Euro qualifier and the friendly.
He's not there.
Jeremy Frimpong is not in it.
And how are we going to get him? Because he was taken to the world. Has he not gone back?
No, he hasn't played.
He needs to play 3 matches. Once he's not played 3 matches.
So he's still eligible.
I'm not sure that boy will come to.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's interested. I feel like he thinks he's too good to be ignored by the Dutch national team.
Maybe he's playing the waiting game because he knows that Koeman might just end up getting sacked any moment from now. Looking at the results.
Very possible. And the Dutch national team do merry-go-rounds with their team a lot.
Let's talk about next manager is Dick Advocaat.
After that, they'll go to Bert Van Marwijk. Then they'll get Van Gaal again. Then the cycle.
We keep going.
What team is this?
And then they'll wait. So in like 15-20 years, when Ten Hag retires, then he, Peter Bosch and Co will become the next recycle.
Add Van Nistelrooy to that list. Let's talk about another move. Cole Palmer to Chelsea, guys.
It should have been Kudus.
Guys, let me just say this, right? No disrespect to Chelsea fans. Let me just say this, right? No disrespect to Chelsea fans. I don't remember a team looking this light after like costing $1 billion. This team cost $1 billion. $1 billion.
And you think they still look light?
They are light.
See,
this team.
Light way.
No. Nathan, you look at if you spend. What I'm trying to say is, hold on. If Don Florentino spends $1 billion on a team, when he parades his troops on the pitch, they will put fear in the opponents. Nobody will look at this Chelsea team and be afraid. In fact, I think we have been very unfair as journalists. And we started that argument last week on it. I think that Mudryk is getting away with murder at Chelsea. I'm telling you. Look, he has been absolute rubbish.
Terrible.
No, let's
Nobody he's been
I'm telling you, let's
allow him.
He's been rubbish. Look, we've been massaging the Mudryk. In fact, Mudryk, after being bought for $100 million, has not even been deemed good enough to earn regular starting minutes. That's a big indictment for starters. The best Mudryk has done, I think he scored his debut goal.
He didn't score against Liverpool. He didn't
score. Offside.
What he does is shown us a few moments of brilliance where maybe he plays a 1-2. There's a best of pace, but that can be said for 100 other players. I mean, if it is a best of pace and a 1-2, me, I'm capable. If you give me, Lasibi Cristiano, Mine,
1-2,
mark the ball. Can't pass us 1-2. I mean, we can all do this, guys. Look, Chelsea have spent $1 billion on their squad. This team does not put fear in anybody. In fact, as things stand now, Noni Madueke, he can't swim. He can barely see daylight. Go to a guy like Benoit Badiashile. I thought he started off brilliant. I don't know if he's contracted a long-term injury. Not playing as well. Kukurea been so bad that they are trying to offload him as soon as possible. In fact, like he's falling down the pecking order at Chelsea so bad that they think that injury-prone Chilwell is better, which is true anyway. Look at their midfield. And Enzo, I think, has been the most productive signing that they've made. He's shown up in every game for them. Literally played every game since he's been bought. He's won 2 matches since he arrived at Chelsea. I mean, it's not his fault. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. And they've gone and spent another $45 million on Cole Palmer.
Look,
there's Romeo Lavia too.
Hey, Chelsea.
Look, I think they've rather caused more harm than good.
I don't see where the rebuild is going, coach. I really can't see where this rebuild is going.
If you look at the amount of money being spent, I've always said it. Look, Mark Jackson, Padilla,
and you okay?
It's Nicholas
Jackson. He's not going to score 20 goals. He's not going to score even 15 goals in the season. And Chelsea needed another striker in the box. And of course, a proper number 10. That's where I agree with Yao. That should have been Kudus. That Cole Palmer purchase should have been Mo Kudus. And I think he would have brought a bit more maturity, a bit more efficiency to whatever Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Gallagher, and Co would be doing in the middle of the park.
If you're going for Cole Palmer, why don't you go for an accomplished international?
Yes. And get him to complement the effort of Nicholas Jackson. As for Pep Guardiola, he was of the view that the boy was still not ready. Although the boy in recent times have done some very good things.
Yeah, you should promise.
We saw him in the Community Shield. We saw him in the Super Cup. But at the end of the day, if you look at the boy himself, technically he's good. But he's not that strong. He's not going to put fear in anybody, like you said. 1v1 physically, he'll be brushed off. This Chelsea team going forward, apart from Nicholas Jackson and to some extent, Raheem Sterling, who is beginning to look a bit good, they are going to struggle. They don't have goals in this team. There's no goals in this team. And that, in my view, I thought was the area they should have addressed. Chelsea will be looking at beating teams 1-0, 2-1, and I cannot see them coming back most often in the big games when they concede the first goal. Because at the end of the day, they are not couched for that. The setup don't have natural goal scorers. And if you look at the one they were so much depending on, which is is it Nkuku, eh?
Yeah.
Nkuku, yeah.
He'll be back in January.
Yeah.
So there had to be an immediate replacement. So for this, look, this tells me that it is clearly not Mauricio Pochettino doing the buying, recommending the players to be bought by Chelsea. Because if a coach like Pochettino understands the need to have a goal scorer, he's worked with Harry Kane. He's worked with the likes of Mbappe and Co. So he understands
the kind of profile of player he wants.
Exactly. So if you are giving him Cole Palmer, what? It's their team. It is a move I don't.
Let me, I'll come to you. Let me take your thoughts on Cole Palmer to Chelsea.
Yeah, he's a fantastic potential. He's a fantastic potential, but the point is, it's all about leverage. It's all about priorities. If you have a guy who is more accomplished than another, and you can buy him for pretty much the same amount, why do you go in for a guy who has a good ceiling, a high ceiling, over a guy who is accomplished as things
and
stand,
is ready to go?
And is ready to go. And if you look at it critically, Kudus is more versatile and has a higher ceiling as a player from a technical standpoint than Cole Palmer. So that for me is a bit odd that Chelsea didn't go in for Kudus, but rather went in for a guy like Cole Palmer. And I understand your frustration over Chelsea's expenditure, spending over $1 billion and still not looking like the next generation or the second iteration of Florentino's Galacticos.
And even if you take away, not to even catch you again, even if you take away Florentino's Galacticos, look at Real Madrid and what they've done with their rebuild of Wonder
I was getting to that, but the Real Madrid situation is quite different from Chelsea's situation, because with Real Madrid, the fulcrum of their rebuild were players that they bought through the academy or they bought right from the source at the Brazilian league. So they didn't cost as much as your Romeo Lavia cost. They didn't cost as much as your Caicedo cost. So in that situation, you can't compare the two, because aside Jude Bellingham, in that next gen team who cost a lot of money, who among that group cost over 50 million? None.
I think they paid some. Okay, no.
It was Vinicius who cost.
Chouameni cost a good amount.
Oh yeah, Chouameni. So Chouameni and Bellingham. But you look at Valverde, you look at Rodrigo, you look at Vinicius. Camavinga didn't cost that much.
Around 28 million.
You get it. And so the next gen, they approached it a little bit different.
Good scouting. Chelsea could have been scouting well too.
They've done good scouting, but yes, it's towards the future. So you look at guys like Angelo Santos, you look at guys like Chukwuemeka, you look at guys like Ugo, all of those guys, in the future, they could turn out to be what Vinicius Jr. is in terms of production. But at this present moment, it is not it. That is the reason why, after spending $1 billion, they still look quite ordinary, because the quality is there, the upside is there, but they just don't have the profile to back it up in terms of back this expenditure. That's the only reason why they still look ordinary.
Let me get more thoughts on Paul Palmer.
Well, I think we all agree that the ultimate team to beat is Manchester City. And with what Chelsea is putting together, it gives me the impression that the ultimate target for them is not to beat Man City, but rather to build into the future. Because I think it's a 7-year deal for the player. It tells you they're going for a long-term plan. But they've been here before. I remember when they assembled that team where they had Pulisic, Mason Mount, Havertz, Werner. We thought, okay, they were assembling a young squad for the future. But in less than 3 years, all these players are no more at Chelsea.
Because they're disappointed.
Exactly. So we've been here before.
A combination of injuries and disappointing results. They decided to move off those guys.
Exactly. So Palmer is a good player. Watching him play for Man City this season, I think we all enjoyed his goal in the Shield against Arsenal. Also, his brilliant goal for City against Sevilla in the Super Cup. So, in terms of his potential, it's obvious. He knows what to do at the right time. But as to whether that's what Chelsea need in this season, I don't think it's a signing for the season. It's a signing for subsequent years to come. I think I agree with you that their squad very, very light. Looking at the teams they'll be competing with, I think clearly in terms of squad quality and depth, they come nowhere near Man City. They come nowhere near Arsenal for me. They come nowhere near Liverpool for me. So already, these 3 teams are quite ahead of them. And so it makes the vision of them finishing in the top 4 this season for me quite difficult. Look at the business they've run this season as well. And I agree with Coach also that there's no goals in this squad. And Palmer is not your player.
Unless
you
they
bring
come
him for
and call
goals.
me to score for them. Rita Mensah is here. She says she has retired. She says these days she has no Chelsea affiliations. But hold on. A Chelsea issue.
I'm here to defend
who and what?
Chelsea fans.
In what capacity?
Guys, relax. This is not a fight.
Okay.
Chill. Now, I don't agree with the notion that you say. I think using the term light is very.
Oh, it's light. Let us say.
No, it's not light.
Let's make
it's not light because I think everyone is forgetting the fact that, or not even forgetting. I think people are deliberately forgetting or deliberately ignoring the fact that this team is literally going through a complete rebuild from ground up.
I told them.
Ownership, staff, coach, players, literally a whole rebuild, right? All the players that were there when they won the Champions League, how many are left?
Thiago Silva.
Reece James, Ben Chilwell, right? And then they brought in new players. These players are not already made or already established. These players are what? Up and coming, as everyone will say, like future prospects, right? And I completely understand where everyone is coming from. You feel like it's going to be a struggle for them to do all this season. But I think that they have a good coach in Pochettino, and he knows what he's doing. He has a good idea of what he wants to do with the team. He understood the project. He understood what he was coming into. And he said it several times in press conferences that this is the project we are building, right? And so I think when you say light, I feel like it's a bit... I think it's the wrong term to use. Yes, it's harsh. I don't think it's a light team at all because if Pochettino is able to put this team all together, like if he's able to instill his ideologies into them, right? It's a long season. How many games are there? How many competitions are there? There's still a lot of time. There's a lot of time for him to groom these players, some of these players,
Let me just
right,
say something
to where he wants to where he wants them to be. And then I also feel like everyone is mentioning the money they've spent, but you're also forgetting or deliberately forgetting that they've sold as much as they've brought in. Do you get what I'm saying? They've sold as much as they've brought in. So if you say that they spend so much money on these and these players and the main thing here is that this team is literally going through a rebuild. And so you need to give them time to do that. I don't think Pochettino has been given a target that, hey, you are in here. This is Chelsea. You need to win 10 trophies. I think there's a target. Maybe you need to qualify us for Europe next season. And I'm sure if Pochettino gets them anywhere above that, he would have exceeded all expectations. So I think that, look, everybody knows Chelsea is a big team. They win trophies, But I think this is a season where you need to give them grace and time to develop. And I know that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because
everybody expects
any other team, so it will not happen with Chelsea.
Yeah, that's completely fine. Hold on. That's completely fine. That's completely fine. That's completely fine. But I think that just take into the fact that this team is going through a rebuild. These are young players who are now coming to develop under a new manager.
What we are saying,
so just give them the time. Don't say that the team is light because you feel like they spend so much money.
I agree. We are all saying the same thing. But the question is this: can this Chelsea team afford not to qualify for Europe?
Nope.
But that's why I'm saying that. I'm sure they've been given a target.
Second point: if you are building the team, there are certain positions in the team where you need a backup.
Yep.
If you've tracked Nicholas Jackson's history as a player, he's injury prone. Most often than not, he moves. As we speak today, the question I'm asking Rita is this: if Nicholas Jackson were to get hurt, who plays his role?
But you guys are already crying and complaining that the team has spent a lot of money. Yet you still want them to go and spend money on other replacements?
You should have spent your Kopama money on a striker.
No, look, you guys are forgetting. Who is in the same position as Kopama? And isn't he also injury prone? He just came back from an injury. So if they feel like they need someone else to put in there because they know that Madueke is likely to get injured again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And everybody is saying Kopama. When he was at Man City, whenever he came on, he always came on with an impact. He came on during times where Manchester City were struggling. So I don't think that you should say like the team is light or anything. I think it's a good deal for them.
Fair points made. Fair points made. For somebody who is not a Chelsea fan.
No, she's a Chelsea fan. No, you are.
I'm not a Chelsea fan.
No, you know, I like how she's packaged her point, but the truth also is that, you see, you knew what you were getting with a guy like Noni Madueke.
Exactly.
When you went to spend money on him. Now you've got to get him and he's injured, and you've got to buy money to come and replace. Meanwhile, you don't have goals.
That is my
we are here. We will see.
Maybe Kopama gets it for them.
On record wise, how many goals have he?
Let's talk about a deal that's happening. So Mason Greenwood is on the verge of joining Getafe. Now this is according to David Ornstein. It says close to moving to Getafe on loan. Not done yet. Paperwork in process for Man United. Yeah. Mason Greenwood, close to moving from Man United to Getafe on loan. Not done yet. Paperwork in process of being finished. Clubs optimistic of completing the process. Getafe now only team in the frame for 21-year-old.
Right. That's the news on him. Okay. United said they were going to help him. So
this Mason Greenwood thing, I still don't get it, honestly, because everything and everyone operates under the law. And the law stated that the charges against him were dropped.
But it doesn't mean...
it doesn't mean he's not guilty.
Yes.
They weren't cleared. The charges against him weren't cleared, but they were dropped. And if the charges are dropped, what that means is you are free to do as you please.
And no problem.
Yes. So and Man United is a football club. First things first. First and foremost.
But they don't operate in vacuum.
Yes, they don't operate in vacuum. But here in this situation,
you are basically saying that United should bite the controversy bullet and
look, it's a bitter pill. I don't want to sound like Dr. Buzia, but it's a bitter pill. You swallow it it tastes sour, but at the end of the day, it cures you. And when you look at the Man United production, on-field production, from that left side, from that right side, as an inverted,
our biggest talent since the
as an inverted right winger, he is Man United's best in terms of quality. And on top of that, winning kills all ills. How many? Wait, relax. How many people remember that Maradona had rape issues in his career? How many people? But we celebrating, right? Because he won. No. Kobe Bryant is having a statue being built. It will be commissioned on February 8, 2024. Kobe Bryant had rape issues charged level against him in his younger years.
Also had them dropped.
At the end of the day, he won because he won, and those issues were swept under the carpet. So if this guy has the chance to give you the trophies, on-field production, and why does Man United fall victim to this whole values and morals?
Alienate your fans?
No. At the end of the day, look, fans are fickle. When you start winning, they will come back.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that for society we shouldn't take morals and values seriously. We should take them seriously. But at the end of the day, what comes first as a football team? On the pitch production. You see, and that is what
Manchester United,
you can't take that away from
as a football club. Prides itself as being a football club, right? Because it subjects itself to certain standards. Those standards leave the football pitch and they cut across society. It is why
Raggings when he was sleeping with his own brother's wife.
At that time when this happened,
entertain Harry Maguire when he misbehaved.
Tried to bribe the police.
So why do you keep it?
In any case, entertain Eric Cantona when he was stamped.
So why is it that this guy you've let him go?
I'm saying,
look. No, come on.
You think it's double standards?
And this is the same team that is protesting to have Sheikh Jassim become the owner. Meanwhile, he's the son of a billionaire. He's a billionaire and he's the son of a former prime minister of Qatar, which has a very checkered human rights issue.
As for those issues, let me finish. As for those issues, when they take over. And it's one of the reasons why you have people who say we don't want Sheikh Jassim. As for those matters of human whatever, you let's put them aside. I'm saying that on this part, you see, whenever we talk about when I remember the day or the day after when this happened, I was explaining to so many people. Listen to me, the gentleman in question, the law court dropped they didn't clear him. And I always say that anybody in this matter, go and listen to the transcription or the audio tape. Read the transcription.
He did it.
And ask yourself that.
He did it.
Would you want such a player? Your hands were, you see, now I'm coming. Man United as an entity, think about what it would mean. Weigh the two and ask yourself, what do we want? Do you want to have a team where sponsors get up and take their money away because they don't align?
The sponsors were not going away.
Do you want to have a team?
You are not played in yet. Hold on. Sponsors might say,
guys, let me give you an example.
The moment you start playing him and the backlash comes,
another sponsor will come.
Thank you.
It's not that straightforward.
I always equate this to the Tiger Woods episode. Tiger Woods' extramarital things never had anything to do with golf.
He lost all his sponsors.
The sponsors walked away one after the other because they say who we are, we cannot align with this gentleman because he's misconducting himself.
Abramovich was a friend.
My United cannot be likened to Tiger Woods.
I'm making a point. I'm saying that Manchester United as a club had to make a decision. Okay?
A decision that got swayed away by the vine, not based on your own investigation.
The
investigation
Man United did their own investigation.
They said Greenwood did not.
Let's make progress. Well,
Man United,
he's in line.
If you ask me, they took a decision that has saved them from a lot of problems. It's okay, but they haven't left the player. They've not said you won't play. They only said that we agree, all of us, ourselves, Mason Greenwood, everybody, we agree that the boy will play football. But just not at Man United.
My view is this. I listened to Greenwood himself, and I think he seems okay with the decision. because he accepted it in good faith.
Let me
release a
provide
right statement.
Hold on.
And he has moved on.
Yes.
So
let me
once the
provide
player-
an update.
Yeah.
An update that now will clear all me. My doubt. The Man United official supporters group. I'm saying it on record. Now my doubt has been lifted.
Say it.
Now Manchester United Football Club is announcing that Sofiane Amrabat has joined Manchester United on loan until June 2024, subject to international clearance and registration.
Glory.
Requirements.
Glory.
Now, Amrabat said, quote,
Glory.
it is a huge honor to become a Man United player. This is the part of the statement I like. I have had to be patient for this moment, but I am someone who always listens to my heart. And now I am representing the club of
Red Devil piercing.
Now he says, I know exactly how Eric Ten Hag likes to work and what he needs from his players. His coaching and guidance developed me so much as a player earlier in my career. Now let me read the quote from coach's very good friend John Mehta. He says, quote, let me finish. Quote, we have tracked Sofiane for a long time, so we are really pleased to bring him to Man United. His committed, high energy approach to the game fits perfectly with the group that
timing a check. Man, you are timing a check.
When did they work together? What time was it?
Utrecht.
Go way back.
And Amrabat spoke about Ten Hag's coaching and the fact that Ten Hag could dissect his game, let him watch videos and point out. So it looks like
this is a marriage.
But low-key, that move they pay me, pal. Say United get.
I mean, then you won't spoil
I mean, Liverpool, you guys is sporting.
So United there, anything good make it go corner. It could. Let's talk about Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati. That's a move that. Guys, not in my wildest dreams. See, if you told me 4 years ago that Ansu Fati will be suiting up for Brighton and Hove Albion, I'll probably tell you that you were on glue, petrol, and a few things in between.
Exactly.
Because what?
See.
Talk to me about that.
Release clause 1 billion.
Yo, Ansu Fati has a release clause
of 1 billion. 1 billion.
I must admit, I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm also shocked. But here we go. See, I think that for a player that was touted as the next face of Barcelona when Messi left, number 10 shirt.
When Messi was still around, even.
No. Yeah, I mean, he came on when Messi was around.
They said he was going
when
to be
Messi
the next
left,
big
he was the
thing,
next big thing. The number 10 shirt was given to him and all that. But I think that we must admit injuries have worried Ansu Fati. The level we expected,
ACL, right?
The level we expected him to reach, he hasn't reached that level. And so the sort of impact that he used to have on games is no more there. He comes into games nowadays and you don't get to see the Ansu Fati of old. That young lad who came to Barca hungry and was making magic week in, week out. And so I think that at a point in time, sometimes in life, you need a change of scene. So I like the deal that Barca has with Brighton. It's just a loan. There is no option to buy. It tells me that in the long term, he's still in the plans of Barcelona. All they want now for him is just go out there, go and see how he will fare away from the Barca system. Maybe Barca has not worked for him. He needs a new challenge.
Barca don't
goes
have a
out
system now.
He should go out there and see how it will go for him. See,
there's no
for
La Masia in the
for one area also is the financial fair play and the fact that Barca needed to sign players. But I get confused when you let Ansu Fati go and you still bring in Joao Felix. So I think that I look at Joao Felix, I look at Ansu Fati.
Xavi is confused.
The two players are all hype.
Xavi is
and
playing.
Much.
He's playing central midfielders in wide areas at Barca,
sometimes,
and yet he's letting natural wingers lead his team.
So it's a tricky one. I think for me, it's a good deal for Brighton because they get one of the promising Spanish superstars and all that. And
member of the Spanish
with this now, imagine they have Mitoma on the left hand side. They get to play Ansu maybe in the hole behind. Then their main forward. Yes.
So they will mess around.
He could be around the
2 weeks from now. They shouldn't mess around the controller. No more about butcher me.
Oh, That should be a good game. I think for this one, Barca just want to see how he will fare. I'm positive that if it goes well for Ansu Fati, he comes back home to Barcelona and then gets his slot back. If it doesn't go well,
I don't think Ansu Fati is going back to Barcelona.
It's a test. No, for me, I think it's a test. Looking at the persistent injury, it's a test to see how he will fare. And he has to up his game.
Chichi, you talk about persistent injury. Who is to be blamed for that? The people at Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona. I think we overused the ball.
They've never been patient with the young man. They've never allowed him to fully recover.
Every time when he's on the brink of recovering, then they throw him back into games again.
No, it's because of the hype around. You saw Barca. Barca has this attitude of hype.
Why are you rushing him?
The same thing.
They are doing the same thing with a small boy.
It's Barca. See, the Barca fans can make you feel like you are the next Messi. You are this.
Messi himself at the time he was introduced
was managed well by Rijkaard.
He had Ronaldinho.
Yes, there was a proper transition for him.
There was a proper baller in the team, so he wasn't the star.
And even he was supposed to be the second in line because the first in line was Giovanni Dos Santos.
Exactly, at the time.
Exactly.
The first in line was
so there was a
Giovanni
proper.
Dos Santos.
Now it's more of when you are good to go. Pedri at a point in time had to play over 60 games.
And it is worrying the boy now.
He's not getting injured.
You don't get them to play too many games.
So I agree. I think Barca, if I use the young boys now.
For Ansu Fati, I think it's all about confidence. Confidence. If he can get the chance to play ahead of Enciso or Buonanotte,
that's a tough.
And Enciso's injured. He's almost out for the season.
Okay, then that's a good thing for him. Then if he can play consistently and the trust and the confidence of a very, very sound coach like De Zerbi, then that's when he will get back to the form that he showed before those injuries set in.
Just to add to
it's just about confidence build up because if you have that confidence,
he was on his way to Spurs.
Yeah.
When Brighton showed an instant,
I'm surprised.
And then he chose Brighton because of the manager.
Oh, I like him because of that deal. Because if you want to play,
I want to go.
If you want to play and develop,
he wanted to develop.
No disrespect to Tottenham, but if a young player wants to build up his confidence and get back to that level that he was playing at before he got injured, you don't go to Spurs. You go to a team like Brighton and Hove Albion, which, as strange as it sounds, they look like more Barca-like and play more Barca-like than Barca is actually, guys, at this point in time.
I think you guys need to zone in on Xavi. He's doing some really strange stuff.
Xavi's taking
he's doing some really strange stuff at Barcelona.
I think all the key decisions is not being taken by him. You see, the
financial constraints.
Yeah,
Laporta.
That is why Laporta went for him. Somebody who understands
the situation.
Somebody who
will not say that you are not giving me money. Those things.
Look, under the circumstance, we need to do A, B, C, D.
I think that
is what it actually
But
is.
I just think that he needs to work better on his management of the players in terms of work. For example, we're speaking about Pedri.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the hype in Catalonia is on Lamine Yamal. He's 16.
Yep.
I don't think that he's
not ready.
He
for
cannot
that kind
bear the weight of carrying a Barcelona team.
It's Barcelona.
You know, so
they are used to. Let me put it. Barcelona as a team are used to having
young
chaps.
That's fine.
Show themselves.
That's okay.
If there's any manager, I believe there's any manager very capable of handling these things. It should be
well.
the manager.
I just hope.
I just hope that he should regulate the number.
Let's talk about another done deal. It's a loan deal as well. My Lukaku. Your Lakaka. Everybody's Lakaka. Lakaka.
You know,
Lakaka's ended up in the bosom
the Roma fans love
Jose
him.
Mourinho.
He's very good
Again.
friend.
The Roma fans love him. Yeah.
This was a transfer. It took time before it happened because the general consensus was that Lukaku did not want to come back to Chelsea, even though technically he belongs to Chelsea.
And if there was no way back for him at Chelsea,
there was no way back. The situation at Inter had changed, so now they needed to do something different. So his options were very limited. Juventus looked like they wanted to until their fans said, "Hey, we are not accepting.
Don't try.
Don't give your showdown."
So Roma was his option, and Lukaku himself was very invested in this move. He had to take a salary cut to get this move done.
Yep.
And I think he's going to a team that would.
Abraham is injured long term too.
Yeah, so they are looking for goals. I always say that Roma suffered last season because they really couldn't get enough goals to help them cross, make 10 draws into wins.
I feel lost to AC Milan.
You see,
or they'll lose.
So I just feel that getting a player like this really helps. The challenge though is this team set up to maximize Lukaku's abilities? Because at Inter, he could work hard for Lautaro. They had a Dinjeko, so they had something going. At Roma, can they get the same thing?
I think they will work. Looking at Dybala.
Of course, yes. I mean, if he has Dybala, yes, then that's wonderful. So I just hope it works out for him.
They have 1 point out of a possible 9.
You know, so that's already a very complicated start to the season. In a season where the expectations are that they would at least get into European football again, Europa League minimum, Champions League maximum, because the Scudetto there is out of their hands.
Yeah.
And now you have all these teams who all of a sudden look like are pulling away from Roma. Look at AC Milan, for example. They didn't look like anything, but when you watch them play this season,
they spent a lot of money this summer.
Led by Captain America.
They brought in Noah Okafor,
Chukwueze, and Pulisic.
They were serious.
So I'm happy. I hope it clicks very quickly for Roma, or else the season becomes a struggle where they are trying to rein people in and trying to catch up on them.
Let's talk about a deal that, again, I find interesting. One of those very interesting deals. Ghanaian player move for good money. Doesn't happen a lot. And there's Nyama to Olympic.
It's a fantastic move.
Olympic
10 over 10. 10 over 10.
Let me start to coach on that one. Coach, Nyama swept basically, he picked up literally every award there was to pick up in the league in which he was playing. Was probably acclaimed by everybody, players, coaches, fans, as the best player in the league. By the time he was 20 years, said bye-bye, he's gone to France.
He's a proper footballer. Look, he's a good player. Very, very excellent player.
Yeah.
He's gone to a team that, per their DNA, would naturally...
Who's Lyon head coach now? Laurent Blanc?
Yeah, Laurent Blanc. And he's under fire.
Guys, just a quick note. I think Fabrizio is tweeting that Patindaka to Bournemouth is not happening.
Has fallen through. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I think he's gone to a team that will allow him to flourish. And look, I think that if that boy were to realize his full potential, the Black Stars can only benefit. Look, if you have that boy, Mohamed Kudus, the likes of Joseph Pencil, the likes properly coached, Adjei-Mintah a team me. Adjei-Mintah a team me. Only means Adjei-Mintah, many better team, Adjei-Mintah a team me. What do you mean to a ball and I'm your team me? What am I here?
You think the French Ligue 1 was a good decision for him?
I think it was.
In his development cycle.
I have no doubt about it. Yes. I think he's going to look, he will flourish. It's like I was so happy when I saw the move.
Yeah.
And I said, wow.
I was really wondering where he was going to go. I thought he was going to stay. I thought he was going to 25 million euros. I thought he was going to stay at North Island for at least one more season.
I think he had grown.
It's a brilliant move.
And like I always say, in French football, you are never too young to play.
Exactly.
They will give him the opportunity. And Lyon started the season to be very poor. So they are hoping that he will give them a bit of a spark. When you look at the profile of it, it's a very interesting mix of very old players, young players, those in between.
Tolisso and Lacazette.
Tolisso, Lacazette, and then they've brought in Nyama and all of that. They've brought in a few other players. I hope it comes together. France is a great league for a young player. He has to take this opportunity, but he has to be patient because the profile of the French league is higher than that of the Danish league. Sometimes, and Lyon fans, they can be a little difficult sometimes. French fans broadly can be very complex.
Very demanding.
They're very demanding. So he needs to buy his time, but I'm happy for him. The only worry I have about the move is the manager handling the team. Laurent Blanc's teams never play exciting football.
He's a very defensive-minded coach.
So I wonder what it will mean for Nyama, but I hope that maybe having Nyama now may free up the team a little and he will get his opportunity. But it's nice to see a young Ghanaian player taking good steps in his development. Yeah. And I hope that his time at Lyon
a quick one.
will be a success.
I don't have a problem with... Yes, I'm a bit... I would have loved for an offensive-minded coach to be his head coach and not Laurent Blanc. But it's just like the Kudus David Moyes mix. I don't have a problem with it too much.
But you think they'll sack Blanc soon?
Yeah, no, not necessarily, because
Blanc has been clashing with the people at the top at Lyon.
And the results haven't been going his way too. And the thing is, I look at it from the Jose Mourinho kind of perspective. When Jose Mourinho works with offensive-minded players who are quality, he tends to get them to do so well because he puts a lot on their plate. And the ones who are really, really good, they do step up. You look at what he did with Wesley Sneijder at Inter Milan. He was more or less the only creative player through the middle in that team. You look at what he did with that Real Madrid team, where they amassed 100 points, record number of points. Brilliant counter-attacking team with Cristiano Ronaldo and Higuain and those guys. They did so well. And so it's the same thing I see with Kudus working out at West Ham with David Moyes, and it's the same thing I see with Enes Nyama working out at Olympique Lyonnais. And playing time wouldn't be an issue because Bradley Barcola is virtually on his way to PSG, and Taotoko Ekambi has also been moved on. So what that means is the left side is virtually his. If he wants to be deployed as an inverted winger, that also is up for grabs. And so for me, I honestly see this as a 10 over 10 move because it will help in his development. He has that technical ability to grow into that top player that they will later sell on and make a lot of profit from. So for me, 10 over 10 move for Enes Nyama. Perfect team to play.
The guys say that they are donkoming the move for you. Mateus Nunes to Manchester City. That move just happened recently. Manchester City went back, forth. Eventually, the deal has happened. Talk to me about that. Barcola has actually joined PSG.
Yeah, PSG.
From the report.
They are doing their French movement.
Yeah, just a quick note on PSG. They are still talking to
Randa Colomwani. They said they have found a way
Frankfurt
to make it happen.
Talking to Frankfurt for
looks like Hugo Ekitike will move in the other direction.
Well, initially
the window is closed.
Initially, they were having.
I think
if you submitted paperwork, you can continue to work in
the deal sheet. You have 2 hours to wrap up the deal. So I think they probably will get it over the line. But just talk about Mateus Nunes to City. It looks like the City off-season rebuild is complete. Josko Vardiol, Jeremy Doku, Mateus Nunes, and then Kovacic. So if you could give that a bite for me, what does he bring to the team?
Well, the thing is, he's a very good dribbler. If you look at the stats, he has the most take-ons completed in the Premier League, and he's missed a game through suspension. So this is a player who is clearly good at carrying
the ball. Who scored the cracker against Chelsea.
Yeah. So he has some talent there. It's just that I think Wolves is another quite dysfunctional team, so it's been difficult for him to really show what he can do. But if you look at him as a ball carrier, someone to progress the ball, so you have Kovacic and him in midfield, you can see what the plan is. You are progressing the ball to your more attacking players. You have Jeremy Doku, another take-on machine. It looks like Guardiola is going for dribbling machines. He wants people who can push the ball, win it, pick it up, run at the defense, cause chaos, beat the press. So there seems to be some method to the madness. So it'll be interesting to see how it is. I think maybe if you have someone like Erling Haaland, a quality finisher, cause some chaos, break the press, carry the ball forward, and let the attacking players kind of find the space to make things happen. So I see what they are doing.
Let me give you an update.
Even Josko Vardiol, very good progress of the ball, who he led the Bundesliga in successful take-on percentage last season, and he's a defender. Wow. So every player they are buying seems to have this dribbling trait.
Brilliant. So Mason Greenwood to Getafe is done. As things stand now, you can all have a look at it over here. Mason Greenwood in Getafe.
He doesn't even look happy.
I honestly thought he will end up in Italy.
Getafe blue.
No, Lazio, the window closed. Lazio were unable to. I mean, look, if you're Getafe, and you're a team that you know you're going to be battling relegation, and you know that you're going to get 1 or 2 good chances a game, this is the type of guy you want. I wonder how he's going to be after not playing for so long. That's the one thing I'm wondering about.
Yeah.
But
just hold on and talk about Brennan Johnson to Tottenham for me. 45 million, I believe, something almost 50 million.
It's the same British player over
British tax.
Yeah, we're talking about. I think he's a decent player. Look,
what does he bring to them? What does he have that they don't have?
Yeah, he doesn't have anything they don't have, but he's another option wide. He offers, he's direct.
Better on the left or right?
I think he plays mostly on the right, but I mean, he scored 8 goals in the Nottingham Forest team that wasn't too great. So there's some quality there. So I can see I can see his value as a player. Obviously, I think the transfer fee is a bit too high, but I think he's a good player. I think he adds a little I think he's a good option for the squad. I don't expect him to enter the first team and improve the first team, but he's a good option for them.
Let's finish the show by rating who we think has had the best summer transfer window. I'll take thoughts from all of you. Which team has had the best window?
The whole
Europe. You can pick from anywhere.
You know who I won't say? AC Milan, of course.
AC Milan have
USA.
No,
USA.
Come on, baby.
No,
Come on, baby. USA. Shout out to the AC Milan TV commentator. He's a complete vibe.
Every time Pulisic scores, he screams, "Come on, baby, USA, USA."
Captain America.
As you can, Pulisic has scored back-to-back games. He didn't score today, but so something will be screaming a lot of USA this season. Amen.
Ben, check this out. Your dear Real Madrid are doing something.
What's going on?
They have sold Odriozola to Real Sociedad.
Oh my goodness.
They are getting 3 million.
But I think AC Milan's window has been very good. I think they've addressed some very serious issues in their squad. I think the right side was a huge issue. I think there were lots of matches where Leao had too much to do going forward. I don't think Leao has really he played well in the Roma game from what I saw, but the first 2 games he wasn't on his best form. But Pulisic was there to bail him out in the sense that now you have a right winger who can do damage. Now you also have someone on the left, and now because of all that chaos and going on, Giroud is currently top scorer in the league. So I think they've improved their team significantly.
I would give my business of the window to Aston Villa. I think they've been brilliant.
Aston Villa have been doing quality for years.
They did Moussa Diaby. They did Alvarez from Eredivisie. They did Nicolo Zaniolo. They've done Pau Torres. I think they've done Yuri Tillema as well on a free transfer. Those are 5.
Clement Langley
to close out the window.
I think I would give to Man City. I think they've had the
Kovacic, Vadio, Jeremy Doku, Mateus Nunes. I think that's right in the review as well.
I will give shout outs to PSG. PSG. This is why they managed to find clarity to this Mbappe matter. Because at a point, it really looked like it was going haywire. They managed to do so. In doing all of this, they brought in Ousmane Dembele. As to whether he will play, nobody knows.
Randall Colomani is on the verge of joining. They have Asensio. They have Manuel
Ugarte. So all of a sudden...
You are onto something.
All of a sudden... I mean, I think they... Yes, you know, Gonzalo Ramos. So all of a sudden, a team that looked like they were in disarray, they've managed to put a few pieces together.
Even if you have these signings and Mbappe goes, this is still a very competitive team. It's no longer a team that I would say is in the inner circle of teams that could, do something in the later stage of the Champions League. But I'll still say it's probably a top 10 team in Europe. All things considered, without Mbappe.
Let's finally conclude with Mohamed Salah though, because it looks like Al Ittihad are not backing down. They say they are weighing up a £200 million offer. Might be January from the looks of things, but it looks like they believe that there is enough interest on Salah's end.
Oh yes. The best case.
That's the reason why they are doing what they are doing. Honestly, he's the one encouraging them to do it.
The best case scenario. The best case scenario for Liverpool is
take the money.
They sell him next summer for a similar price. That's the best case scenario.
I don't think for me, if it goes to next summer, they will get 200 million.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. That's I said best case scenario. If I'm Liverpool, I think for someone who's 31, 32, you get this fee.
I'm selling
you
now.
take it around. I would have even, you are saying 200 million. I would have taken the 115 to be honest.
I'm selling him now.
I would have taken the one, but you see, the reason why now is a problem is that if the window has closed, who are you coming to bring in to replace him? Because this is a 20.
You don't need to bring in anyone.
It will disorient it.
You don't need to bring in anyone.
What do you mean?
20 plus goal player.
Yeah, 20.
You don't need to bring in anyone. You have Cody Gakpo, you have Darwin Nunes, you have Diogo Jota, you have Luis Diaz. You don't need to bring in anyone.
None of those people are proven to give you 20.
Take that money and invest it in a defender and a proper deal.
The window has closed.
No, I'm saying that, in an ideal setting, they should have taken that money and just invested it in another defensive midfielder and a central defender, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, if it was June, I'd agree with you. But it's late August.
Yeah, window has shut.
It's late. We're even in September. I'm even saying late August. It's September. Like the money doesn't even help you at this point.
Oh, that's the show from us. Thank you very much, guys, for doing the listening. Thank you to Coach Christopher Nimley, Adjei-Mintah, Susu Graham, Evan Ofotsu, Manso, Nathan Kwao, Rita Mensah, Edwin Kwakofi, entire production crew for this. We'll be back doing Premier League football tomorrow. We'll mop up all the deals that we couldn't tell you about. Are you happy with your club's transfer business? My name is Benjamin Nketsia. Show proudly brought to us by Game Park Limited and also Bell Puka. We are out.